What's up, everybody? Welcome. We are live. It is the Ango Show, and we are live. Today is March 31st, 2022. Should be a very interesting day because we are talking about WrestleMania 38, both nights. And, of course, we got to talk about Supercard of Honor. Now, anytime I do these live shows, you know I bring in some live call-ins, which I would like to do at some point today. But today I got two YouTubers who will be joining me. We got Real Take Sports, Real Take Wrestling, as well as Plana Productions. So I'm super excited about that. We're going to get them in this call. Let's take a look. How is everybody doing? MGT, Myra, Al, Austin, Charlie. Wrestling is fantastic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. We'll give it a few seconds while we wait for people to jump in. I'll get my guys on the call. We'll talk about WrestleMania. We'll talk about Supercard of Honor. And that should be very fun as well. So I'm excited about it. What a beautiful day. Huh. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Let's see if we can get in my guys here really quick. We'll start off with Omer. Then we'll get in Plana Productions. Omer. My man, welcome. You are live on the Angle Show. How are you, buddy? Right? Brother man, for those who are watching live or on demand, where can they find your content? Because you are a YouTuber as well. Beautiful, beautiful. I'm very curious. We've actually done a prediction show on your channel before, so I'm really excited to hear some of your takes for this one. WrestleMania 38 obviously being two nights. It is the biggest WrestleMania of all time, maybe. I don't know.
Mania of all time.
It turns out I wasn't recording your audio this entire time. So what I'm gonna have you do is
Rip.
R.I.P. Shit. Technical error.
It's okay. I do two takes on my shows all the time. So
where can people find you again? Because I really want them to know.
No, absolutely. YouTube.com/Real Take Sports. Also YouTube.com/Real Take Wrestling for all your professional wrestling needs. And if you forget any of that, at Real Take Sports on Twitter, you find everything over there. Yeah, so excited, man.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's get in Valen. Let's see if we could get Valen into this call. This is a very interesting conversation because I didn't tell you guys that both of you will be on, but I want to create an organic conversation, and that's the best way to do it. So there is no script here. There is no plans. Let's see if Valen will be able to join us. Oh, my God. I think Plana Productions is in the call. Is that accurate? Is that true? Am I looking at this the right way? Or is Discord deceiving me?
The suspense is killing me.
It's killing me too. It shows that he's in the call. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see what's happening.
This would be a great time for everyone out there to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever one of Angos' wonderful videos is released. Because he does them on the daily. Oh.
7 days a week. That's not a joke either. Literally, like, it's a beautiful, beautiful day.
All grind, no cap.
All snaps. Give me 1 second. Plana Productions is having audio issues. Audio sources. Very interesting. Uh-oh. Let's see. I'm going to try to help him out. That's the best part about doing YouTube on the fly. You never know if you're going to have an issue.
It's that old JR and Psycho Sid promo backstage when Psycho Sid like he botches it and he's like, oh, let me do that one more time, and JR's just like, oh, we're live, pal. No two takes here.
It's kind of like
yeah,
when Seth Rollins wants a WrestleMania opponent and they turn off his mic. They turn off his mic.
Oh my god.
Or it's kind of like CM Punk when he's cutting a promo and they turn off his mic.
You remember they did that gimmick with Sandow back in 2014? Like when he was out there just cutting promos on kickoff shows and stuff like that, they would cut his mic.
Give me one sec. We got Plana Productions on FaceTime. I'm trying to see if I can get him some help. I don't know what's happening. He just FaceTimed me. Now let's see. All right. Hey, should I mute you really quick? Because you're live. Oh, snap. All right. I'm going to walk you through. We're live. 80 people are watching right now. Hopefully by the time you're actually here, we'll have 1,000 people. All right, go to Discord. Yes, and then go to, on the left side, you're going to click voice and video. All right, now let me see your screen. So go ahead and talk into your mic.
Hello. It's moving, right? That's good?
Yeah, it's moving. And then go to your output device.
Output, yeah, the speakers.
Well, do you have like headphones or AirPods or something?
I do have AirPods.
Use your AirPods so that way there's like no feedback.
But you can't hear me, that's the problem.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah, we still can't hear you. Ha ha ha. Well, what you might want to do is close out of Discord and then jump back into Discord.
This shit happened with Brandon too. It didn't work.
The oldest trick in the book. Reboot.
Unbelievable.
We should have tested this shit before. Alright, but
No, that's the best part about this though. It's live.
your people are trying to, your audience is trying to listen to our opinions about WWE.
Dude,
WrestleMania.
All angles dealing with that.
I
I guess
heard-
I'll just ask everyone in
I
the
heard
chat,
that,
what match at WrestleMania are you
they're
most
trying.
excited about?
I heard you got some
Because
hot
there's a lot of
takes
great
that you just
matches
don't
out
want people
there.
to hear.
No, I know a lot of people are excited about who Seth Rollins might be
No, it's
facing.
you, yeah.
WWE Vacant has been tweeting about it a lot, but man, oh man, like just let us know. Let him know. Let him know. What match are you most excited about and why? Because that's also the
Beautiful.
most interesting thing. Why are people excited about all these matches? But yeah. Oh, we can hear you perfectly. Oh, he's talking to him. Sorry. Oh, yeah. Ooh, someone in the chat said Roman and Brock and Cody versus Seth. I'm interested to see. I can't believe people are actually excited about Roman versus Brock. I mean, I am for different reasons, but everyone's been really, really low on Roman versus Brock over the past like number of months because they know that was going to be the match. But you know, I'm excited about it. But it's interesting to see other people excited about it because I thought I was deep in the minority on that one. Someone just said Austin Theory versus Pat McAfee. I don't even know if I'm live.
Wow, you gotta love live content, don't you? Can you hear
It's
me?
amazing.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, we
We're
can hear you
live.
perfectly.
All right.
Yeah, you're back.
All right,
yeah.
cool. So
I tried. Yeah,
you tried holding it down?
I tried. Yeah.
Beautiful. So guys, here's the situation. Plana Productions is he is trying to get started with his audio. Discord is being funny on the it's been an issue. Sorry. So yeah, really quick. For those who were like, I see a lot of people in the chat saying, "Hey, your mic is off." Yeah, I just muted myself because I was trying to walk Val and Plana through the Discord stuff. So that's why. That's all it is. There's nothing to it. Nonetheless, we are going to talk about WrestleMania. We're going to talk about Supercard of Honor. He's going to try to get his audio issues sorted. For now, it's going to be me and Omer running things. Hopefully, Plana could join in. We'll probably take some calls a little bit in a little bit. I do want to talk about WrestleMania. We're not going to stall. We'll just keep the show going. If you guys haven't clicked that like button, go ahead and click that like button. We do have a super chat goal of $100. I don't know if we can hit it or not, but if we can, that would be pretty cool. So go ahead and drop a super chat. That's going to guarantee that your question will be read on the screen. You'll get multiple takes, multiple responses. And I think we should just jump into the card. First of all, how is everybody doing? I see a lot of people in the chat. Wayne, Dan, Robin, Darren, 5-1, Nate TV. I see a lot of people in here. What is cracking? What is cracking? Omer, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm living. I'm living in this wonderful oxygen-filled world.
You've never had a live experience like this, have you?
I mean, well, live experience like what?
Like this, where things don't work. And...
I mean, oh no, we had one on our stream for the Rumble. Like our entire feed dropped for no reason because OBS is wonky as all hell. But hey, that's live streaming, man. It happens sometimes. You just gotta roll with the punches, just like we are right now.
I love it. I love it just because it's like chaotic and stuff. It's like when wrestlers go off the script, you know. It's actually nothing like that. It's not a fair comparison, but.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The Rock in Miami going, it's time to go off the script. This is not, but
yeah,
almost as good.
No, everybody's getting worked right now. This is actually real. This was just done for like engagement purposes.
Yeah, it's like the Academy Awards. This is our equivalent of the fake slap, the Will Smith slap, whatever it was.
Dude, it's like Val and Plana just hit me with the slap. Like, I'm Chris Rock right now, and I just got to keep the show going, but I'm not professional enough to be able to do it, you know?
Hey, man, it happens.
Before we jump into the show, I just saw that we got a super chat from Robin Plays Games. Kicking things off, he's joining the super chat party, which is great. What an awesome time. If you guys want to join the party, you can do that. Very simple. Super chat, super sticker guarantees your question getting read. Robin says, read my question or you're cursed, but I don't have a question, so you're cursed. Robin just ribs me every single time with these super chats. So I feel like when that happens, I feel like when I get ribbed, I don't know. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. But Robin, so Omer, here's the thing. When what started happening ever since I started the Ango show, I would go live, right? And I'd be live for like 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it would be. And literally, I would give some people some time just to let them know, like, hey, the show is ending in a few minutes. Like, so if you have questions, super chats, like anything you're trying to do, like, get them in before the show ends because I feel bad for you to do it after the show. So Robin, for whatever reason, just absolutely loves sending these super chats after I get off the air. And I was like questioning it, and it just turns out it's a rib. So I just keep getting ribbed.
Well, Robin, I'll have you know, Robin, if you're listening right now, it's an amazing rib. You are totally owning Ango by giving him money after his show. So please continue to do it for all us wonderful trolls out there.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Robin, for your super chat. We got another super chat for $5 from Cody Anderson. He says, for all the different shows going on in the weekend, what pay-per-view are you most looking forward to? Omer, I'll actually let you answer this one first, and then I'll jump in.
Believe it or not, I'm actually looking forward to night 2 of WrestleMania. I know a lot of people probably have a lot of other shows. Supercard of Honor, I know. I'm also excited for that one. A lot of people were excited about Bloodsport, I believe, which was earlier today. But I just think, I don't know, like there's something special. I know a lot of the matches aren't great, but there's gonna be a special moment at the end of that show where we're gonna have that unified champion, and where hopefully we have, what has it been, 6-7 years of some type of storytelling that's actually going to be concluded with that Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match, which we'll get into. But look, that match is honestly like the entire reason I think night 2 is anything for me. Well, that and Chad Gable, obviously, but yeah, no, for me, it's not even the pay-per-view or the event. It's more so the moment at the end of night 2 of Mania.
I agree. It's actually really funny because when it comes to storytelling, right now, Stand and Deliver is the one that intrigues me the most in terms of storytelling, because literally every match, there's a story attached to it. And that's what happens on a weekly basis when you write good TV. Supercard of Honor is going to be a good show because Supercard of Honor just has good wrestlers on it, which is kind of what you expect. I would expect nothing less than a good wrestling show. WrestleMania Night 1, Cody Rhodes, I think, maybe. So, I mean, I'm pretty excited about everything. Today I watched Bloodsport, which was awesome. If you guys didn't watch Bloodsport, I'd highly recommend it. Tremendous show. I was posting GIFs on Twitter. Biff Busick, John Moxley. So, Cody, thank you for your super chat. I don't have a specific show I'm looking most forward to. I'll kind of dive into this a little bit more as the show goes on. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Plana Productions is actually in the call now. Is this true?
Hello?
Oh
you guys
my!
Hear me?
Oh my God, we hear you.
What's up, guys? What is it, Omar or Omer? How do you say that?
Omer is fine.
Omer, all right.
Plana.
Yeah, guys.
Dude,
yes.
I felt like Chris Rock on stage for a minute.
I took over the channel for a little bit.
Dude, it was crazy. I love when we go off the script.
I don't know what is happening. I can't use my mic. I'm using my AirPods, so I don't know if the quality's kind of
It's all good, brother, man. Thank you for joining. We had a super chat from Cody Anderson. He left a $5 super chat and he said, for all the different shows going on this weekend, what pay-per-view are you most looking forward to? What are your thoughts overall for the weekend?
Honestly, I'm going to say all I want to see this weekend, like the one thing I want to see the most is Cody's, return. That's it. I want to see Cody come back. I want to see if he gets a big pop. I want to see if the people care about him. That is important. How WWE treats him, how he comes out, how is he going to have the same music, all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm looking at most forward to.
Yeah, I think the world is with you on that one. We've already spent a lot of time trying to get you in here, so I don't want to talk too much. Cody, thank you for your beautiful super chat. Robin, thank you for your super chat as well. If you guys want to get those in, it will guarantee that your questions get read, maybe even your bold predictions, whatever it may be. I would love to hear your takes. So guys, we'll kind of just go through the WrestleMania card at first. I know Plana's going to have to get off after WrestleMania, and then we'll jump into Supercard of Honor. With WrestleMania Day 1, I don't know which order the matches are obviously on, so we'll just kind of go through this list that I have. So we'll actually start off pretty big. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. This is a match that I think a lot of people... I don't know how people feel. I think from people I've talked to, a lot of people have told me they're excited about it because there is some sort of history there from SummerSlam and Becky Lynch and everything like that. So Omer, I'll start with you. Kind of jump through your prediction. What do you expect? What are you hoping to see happen here? What are your thoughts overall on Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship?
So first of all, I'm hoping for an amazing match because these are two of the best wrestlers, period, on the planet. Like Bianca Belair, I think last year, her crowning moment, like it was like a lot of people were like, this is a big test for her. Is she going to be able to do it? She passed that with flying colors. She's a superstar. Becky Lynch, we know how great she is. Like that from an in-ring standpoint, it's going to be a good match, a great match even. What I'm looking forward to the most, and by prediction, is that Bianca Belair wins this because I just think the story that they've kind of told along the way would lend to that. I also personally want to see a face Becky Lynch, and I don't think this big time Beck's gimmick is really going to last too long after she loses the belt, and which is exactly why I want her to lose. I want Becky Lynch to lose so I can have the man Becky Lynch back and we can just cheer for her because I don't know. Again, I'm probably in the minority on this. I just find I found it difficult, or not difficult, but like weird to boo Becky Lynch because she's doing a lot of great work and she's just someone you want to cheer for. I just, that's just the way I feel about it. But I got Bianca in this. She should win. She will win. And if she doesn't, a lot of people on the internet are going to be furious.
Oh, yeah. I definitely agree to some of that. I have my own take, which we'll get to in a second. Valen, you are the founder of Plana Productions on YouTube, a massive wrestling channel with a huge fan base. And I know you have delivered some very interesting takes overall in WWE in the past, with Bianca Belair and Becky having somewhat of a story and then WWE kind of jumping back into it. Like, what are your thoughts overall on this match? Who do you got winning? Overall, where do you see this headed?
Well, I want to say the first thing is that this is a way bigger match than Charlotte and Ronda. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this is the way more important women's match over that other one. That's probably because they do have a long feud, and also Bianca's just the better face. Ronda Rousey is just like, she's not cutting it. But I think that it would make no sense whatsoever if Bianca Belair loses. Like, I tweeted a long time ago when SummerSlam happened, when Becky won, that I kind of liked it because it made her the biggest heel at the time. Everyone hated her, and the story needs to end with her winning the championship back. That's what I think. And if they don't do that, then this was all done for nothing. But
interesting. Now, what are you guys' thoughts? Because one thing for me that I definitely, it's something that's been brought up on the Raw review stream that I did, but there's this idea that's been brought up about having Street Profits and Bianca Belair turn heel altogether. Obviously I think Becky turning babyface could be a really big thing, but WrestleMania is known for the good guys, right? It's always been known about making fans happy and delivering these big moments with baby faces. So my prediction here is that Bianca Belair does win, but she walks out as a heel. She cheats to win. And then we kind of see her go on this monstrous heel turn. What are you guys' do you guys have an issue with that take? Do you guys think that makes sense? Do you guys think that's a bad idea?
I don't like that at all. I think Bianca Belair right now has so much momentum as a babyface. To make her a heel is just like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I understand, but it's just, I don't know. Right now I feel like she's one of the top 3 baby faces in the entire company altogether. So turning her heel is like, why are you going to do that? You have such a young and up-and-coming superstar. You got to push her while, she's hot. And you got to push her as a babyface and sell that merchandise. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, look, she hasn't even reached... She's still on the come up. Like Lana just said, she's still on the come up. She hasn't even reached nearly her full potential yet as a face, as the person, like as the main person running the women's division on Raw. I think you ride it out a little longer with her. Also, my concern with turning Bianca Belair heel, it's not necessarily with turning her heel, because there are ways you can do it that would actually be good, that would actually lend to her being a better character and evolving her character. My concern is that it's just going to be some, milquetoast excuse of, you people stink. It's gonna be like one of the, it's just not going to be a good story. It's not going to be a good reason. Yeah, and I don't know. That's just me and my mistrust of big decisions, big swerves just for the sake of the swerve. I don't necessarily like that all the time. Yeah. And I think that if it's done right, yes, but I don't think there's anything that lends to that right now.
I like the idea. Go ahead, Valen.
I was gonna say, I also feel like if you do that, you kind of have to revisit this feud sometime down the line, and I don't think I want to see Bianca and Becky anymore. It's been going on for a while now.
I can agree with that. That's logical. And I was gonna say too, I love heel turns when they're least expected, and I like when they're planned carefully. Like, clearly there is a huge difference between Roman Reigns turning heel and becoming God mode, right? Versus, for example, Bianca possibly turning heel. So I can understand that side of the argument. So I think pretty much unanimously we all agree that Becky is going to lose this match. Is that correct?
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
All right, sweet. Let's move on to the Miz and Logan Paul versus the Mysterios. Obviously, Logan Paul has been super disrespectful lately, rocking the Rey Mysterio mask. This is a big match. A lot of people are obviously not too happy with Logan Paul getting a spot on the card. I'm very, very curious to hear what you guys have to say about this. So, Omer, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts going into this match?
I understand why people are down on Logan Paul being in WWE, but I'm going to be honest. I think that it's good because, hey guys, Logan Paul is one of the highest drawing like pay-per-view combat sports acts there is right now. So he would get eyes on the product. He's paired up with the Miz. I think they've actually been doing some decent stuff, like, you know, like on Raw. I actually liked the Logan Paul wearing the Rey Mysterio's mask to get heat. I thought that was actually pretty funny. And I think it's gonna be a good match. It's gonna be a fun match, and I think Logan Paul also gets it. He's not like coming in here like taking it completely as a joke. Like, remember when he was there last year? He played the Logan Paul WWE caricature, whatever they intended him to be, perfectly. He just came in, he got stunned, and he left. It's not like he was, and he knew that he was going to get booed. He knows he's going to get booed, and that's the whole point. And it's not like bad heat that he's getting. He's actually getting the kind of heat you want. People like to boo Logan Paul because they want to see him get his ass kicked, and if that happens, that's great. Oh. I have no problem with Logan Paul. And look, personally, I don't like either of the Paul brothers, and I think Jake Paul is a better fighter. That's just me. But if this ends up building up to some sort of like tag team match with the Paul brothers and someone else, I think let's do it. Let's build this relationship and make that big time match, because that pay-per-view or premium live event, whatever it's gonna be, is going to do a lot of buys or a lot of views, I guess, because it's on Peacock. But
sure.
Yeah.
Plano, what about you, brother? What are you thinking?
I love it, and I agree with most of that. But I do think that a lot of the people who are in the IWC online, they need to realize that 70 to 80%. I don't know the number exactly, but a lot of the percentage of wrestling fans in the WWE are families, and that includes a lot of kids too. I went to SmackDown at MSG a while back, maybe 5 months ago, and I saw a bunch of kids. And all those kids, what are they on right now? They're on TikTok, they're on YouTube, they're watching all these platforms, and that's where Logan Paul is the biggest right now. So it makes a lot of sense. I don't know why people hate it. I just don't like the fact that the mid-card champions aren't on the show, but I don't think that has anything to do with Logan Paul. It's fine to have him. They shouldn't have had, the New Day versus Sheamus or Rich Holland, But I love Logan Paul being in WWE, and I think he's been doing some great stuff ever since last year, taking that stunner from Kevin Owens. The fans loved it. And, I think that him and The Miz, low-key, they could become tag team champions. Imagine the Heat if they defeat RK Bro in the future. That could be good stuff, and I wouldn't be opposed to watching it.
It's so funny you say that too, because one of the things that I've been thinking about is what happens after WrestleMania. And WWE posted a video. So for those who are unaware of it, MSK has been training the Hurricane, Shane Helms, MSK. They have been training Logan Paul with The Miz, and I know a lot of people aren't for the celebrity involvement, but me personally, that's what makes WrestleMania a star-studded event. It's massive. It gets the mainstream attention. And I've actually said, I've said before, if Impact and AEW truly want to grow their product, you got to do more celebrity involvement. And I have a feeling that Logan Paul, it kind of sucks, because the first time he stepped foot in WWE, it's almost like WWE actually didn't embrace the fact that Logan Paul would be met with heat. So they were trying to push him as a babyface at first. Now, as time goes on, it's like they're trying to embrace him as the heel. And even though WrestleMania is the event where the babyfaces go over, and I know this is incredibly bold, but I genuinely want to see the Mysterios feud. Okay? I want to see it happen. To me, it's a massive singles match. Having this storyline of Dom versus Rey, Dom Mysterio winning the mask at some point from Rey Mysterio, to me, there's money written all over that. I don't know if WrestleMania is the start of that, but if I was WWE, I would 100% have Logan Paul and The Miz win, only if Logan Paul could actually show up and actually do some good in-ring work too. If he's not actually catching on to it, if he can't put on a good match, I'm not really interested in seeing Logan Paul actually wrestle. Now, just like Bad Bunny, right? When Bad Bunny came in and was doing Canadian Destroyers and shit, Bunny Destroyers, right? It became a big deal. So if Logan Paul could come in, show out, have a great match, I want them to win, and I want WWE to continue pushing them as a heel tag team. But there's also some concerns with that because you got RK Bro and Alpha Academy and Street Profits, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But yes, I do think Logan Paul and the Miz, I do think they come out with the win. And if I'm WWE, I do start to tease something between the split between the Mysterios. Give me 1 second. Okay, cool. We did get a super chat really quick. I did want to read this out. Myra sent in a $10 super chat. She says, Bianca Belair winning by cheating takes away from her credibility. If she goes heel down the road, I still see myself cheering for her. Just look at her. How do you not cheer someone of her caliber? That was actually a really good point I want to make too. As intrigued as I am by Bianca Belair, she does scream babyface. That the same doesn't apply for Logan Paul. I think it's obvious at this point we all want to boo Logan Paul. So that is something to definitely keep in mind. I want to move on because day one we don't have an official confirmation of who the opponent Seth Rollins is. You know, the rumor on the IWC, the dirt sheets have reported this. WWE has obviously teased it. Seth Rollins versus TBA. I have quite a few things to say about this, so I am very curious on what you guys have to say, and then I'll deliver my comments. Valen, let's start with you. What are your thoughts on Seth Rollins' mystery opponent? How would you book it? What are you predicting? What are your thoughts with this massive match that we don't even know about?
I think that it's very simple. You gotta have Cody, and if you don't have Cody, you're gonna mess it all up. You know, everybody is expecting Cody. Everyone wants Cody, and if it's like Shane McMahon or something, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. You know, so. I literally, I would laugh though. Like I would laugh because I would go to Twitter and just see everyone going nuts. Like it'd be so funny. Like, but it has to be Cody because you can't ruin something that everybody's expecting. Like if they do that, all the hardcore fans, they will like start shitting on WWE for the whole night and probably the next night. You know, like it's over at that point. You don't want to do that. So I think it's very simple. You just have Seth Rollins come out waiting for his opponent. Vince McMahon comes out. And then you have like an Eric Bischoff, Vince McMahon kind of moment from like 2003 or whenever that was, 2002. And you do that with Cody, you know? You got to build Cody up, make him feel like a big deal, and have him beat Seth Rollins in like 10 to 12 minutes. I don't think it should be too long, but I think it should be one of those stories where it's like, oh, Seth Rollins wasn't prepared for this match, that kind of thing. And that's it. Like I'd have Cody win the match and continue the feud later down the line.
Beautiful. Omer, what are you thinking, man?
I mean, look, WWE Vacant is going to be the most hardest working wrestler this weekend. You know, he's wrestling a match at Supercard of Honor this weekend against Ninja Mac. He's wrestling against Seth Rollins. I mean, it's just going to be what that man's going to put his body through over the next few days is just going to be insane. But no, in all seriousness, it has to be Cody here, right? Like it has to be. If it is not, and again, this is like me saying 99% chance it's Cody. Like we heard the reports, we all know everything, right? Yep. But they've been teasing it. 1% chance it is not. It is promotional malpractice. And for me, I said this on my stream the other day. I said that if it's not Cody, and they knew it all along, and they've been teasing it just like this all along, it would be the equivalent to AEW going into the First Dance, not having CM Punk come out on that show.
Yep.
Like it would be bad. And look, it's not gonna be as bad for WWE because look, they're WWE. That it's gonna take decades to ever like have the negative effect that would have had on AEW on this company. But no, it has to be Cody. Like. Seth Rollins comes out. I know Seth Rollins has been tweeting out these hilarious gifs of like Marco Stunt on Twitter. I love that, by the way. Like him just being like delusional about like he's tweeting out everyone else other than Cody Rhodes. But which fits his character. But WrestleMania comes out. Seth Rollins comes out. He's gonna go cut his promo. Hey, my name is Seth Rollins. I'm the Drip God. Who's gonna face me at WrestleMania? And lights go down, and you're gonna hear adrenaline. And resolve something Cody Rhodes, and it better be that song too because that song is a banger. But yeah, and then Cody, and I think look, I'm interested. I want Cody to actually squash Seth Rollins, like, and not squash him like make him look weak, but just of like the Undertaker John Cena. Like, remember they had a match in 2018, and it was more so John Cena was like surprised that the Undertaker show up, which doesn't make sense because he was calling him out for weeks before. But anyway, but you know, like I think Seth Rollins should kind of be caught off guard, and he should and they should put Cody Rhodes over strong. Like, you can have another match next month and have it be like a great wrestling match, right? But I think it's important to make an impact that Cody Rhodes is a star and he is important, and what a better way to make him feel important than by beating Seth Rollins in this spot at Mania.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you guys. Go ahead.
I'm going to have to change what I said. I think he said it even better than me. I don't even want to see a 12-minute match anymore. I want to see Cody win in like 4 minutes now.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm in the same boat. It's got to happen within like 4 or 5 minutes. And obviously, you know, and it's good storytelling, right? You're Seth Rollins. For weeks, you have been desperate to get on WrestleMania. Now, imagine how crazy it would be if for Seth Rollins, he was trying so hard to get on the show. Now he gets on the show and he gets humiliated, right? And I think this allows a couple things to happen to his character with more layers added on. Maybe it's a baby face turn, because a lot of people need to remember too, with Seth Rollins going into WrestleMania with 60, 70,000 fans, they are going to be singing his entrance song. It's going to be a beautiful entrance. There's going to be a lot of excitement for Seth Rollins. Now, that is obviously going to be trumped by Cody Rhodes. Now, the one thing I want to make very, very clear here, and I had a conversation with my cousin about this earlier today, and we were talking about this, and I want people to know too, because obviously, you know, a lot of the news that I talk about on this channel obviously comes from other sources, and we talk and offer analysis on all of these other reports. Now, today there was these talks about Shane McMahon possibly coming to WrestleMania, and I've pretty much have said from the beginning, do not buy into these rumors. A lot of these stories typically will leak for WWE to deflect some of the stuff, right? So there could be some sort of surprise element. Now, a couple of weeks ago, 9 hours before the news broke that Cody Rhodes was signing with WWE, I was explained from somebody that Cody Rhodes had retained his rights to Kingdom, which part of him leaving AEW, he was able to keep his music. Brandy Rhodes was able to keep the rights to her television show, A Shot of Brandy. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because nobody actually knows for sure if Cody's music is going to play at WrestleMania. But if Cody Rhodes does in fact show up at WrestleMania, two things are going to happen, right? There is going to be a massive pop because it's obviously Cody Rhodes. Regardless if it is Kingdom or Smoke and Mirrors, people will be talking about it regardless. Now, in order for WWE to pull this off, they cannot do any sort of voice. Like, there shouldn't be like a ring announcer. It shouldn't be Vince McMahon specifically saying Cody Rhodes. So my prediction is actually very simple. If I'm WWE and you're trying to deflect the rumors of Cody Rhodes days before the show, I would actually have Cody Rhodes not be the guy that comes out initially. So if I'm WWE, what I would do here is have Vince McMahon come out. Seth Rollins is excited, right? You have Vince McMahon come out and say, Seth, here is your opponent. The lights go out. Here comes the money hits. Because obviously wrestling fans at this point have become so emotionally detached, or they've become so emotionally attached to WWE failing that they would love nothing more than to actually be pissed at WWE. Like, I think a lot of people are hoping that Cody Rhodes actually doesn't show up so they have a reason to hate on WWE. So if I'm WWE, I troll everybody. I have here comes the money hit, right? Vince McMahon says, here's your opponent. Lights go off. Here comes the money. As soon as Shane McMahon walks out, Vince McMahon extends his arm and pushes him back and says, no. Reality sets in that Shane McMahon's not actually his opponent. Cody Rhodes comes out. The most magnificent pyro display you have ever seen. No ring announcer, nothing. Not Vince McMahon saying Cody Rhodes. Just let the song play. Let everybody embrace it. And then I can't remember which one of you mentioned the Eric Bischoff thing, but if you are having Cody Rhodes come in as a heel, 100% as he makes his way down the entrance ramp or whatever, when he's on stage, he should look at Vince McMahon, give him a very firm handshake, and come down.
Oh.
Now, with that being said, I do agree with this idea that Cody Rhodes should win within 4 to 5 minutes. There's also rumors that Cody Rhodes is incredibly jacked. Like, that's like a real rumor that exists right now, that Cody Rhodes right now is incredibly jacked, just like the Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal return where they came in looking way more beefier. I think Cody Rhodes is going to come in looking like a star. And the 4 or 5 minute match actually gives, you know, Seth Rollins wasn't prepared, right? He wasn't prepared. He wanted the match so bad he just got humiliated. Now Monday Night Raw kicks in, and you have WrestleMania Backlash a month from then or whatever it is, and you can do the rematch and still have Cody win. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
feel like
you
go
got it.
ahead.
No, you got it.
I mean, like, I just feel like we're all in agreement here. Just book this like Undertaker Cena 2018, and we're gonna be good. My only thing though is, like, I kind of like made a noise when you said Shane McMahon comes out and Cody kind of shakes like Vince's hand. My thing is, if Shane's there, when Cody does that, I just feel like they're gonna build up to a match between him and Shane, which I know is like a kind of like a built-in story that people have been talking about, because like you have the dust, like you have the Rhodes family versus McMahon family, and I get all that, but I'm just like, that's not really a match I want to see, and I feel like WWE would eventually go down that route. But
I don't think I would hate that, to be honest. That doesn't seem like a bad idea.
Well, a thing that people got to keep in mind is like Shane McMahon, I don't know if he has plans to wrestle or whatnot, but Shane McMahon being the son of Vince, I mean, just imagine this. If Cody's a babyface and Shane is a heel, things could get very, very real. Like, there's a lot of stuff that you could integrate in terms of promos and stuff, because Shane McMahon doesn't have the father's business anymore. He's not going to have the WWE. Cody left an EVP role to come to WWE. Maybe Shane feels threatened by that. I mean, there's a lot that can be said. We did get 2 super chats, one from Zachary for $4.99. He says, I would love a Cody and Priest feud, Crossroads versus Reckoning. Priest can win back the U.S. title, and then Cody can then let Cody beat him and elevate the belt. I like this scenario. I like the idea, if we're going to have one world championship belt, I do love the idea of Cody winning the U.S. title and defending it every single week. I actually did a whole video on that. Let me ask you guys, if it is Cody Rhodes, what is next? Like, obviously you have Seth Rollins. What do you do after Seth Rollins? Like, what do you do to keep Cody Rhodes fresh? Because I think we all agree it's Cody Rhodes. It's going to be massive. They're going to make it a big deal. The theme song, the pyro, the entrance, the attire. Like, this is a very, very special moment. WWE would obviously embrace it. What happens after that? Like, what's next for Cody Rhodes? And honestly, while you answer that question, what is next for Seth Rollins?
I think that, honestly, after Cody beats Seth, they have a little feud or whatever, I would put him up with Roman Reigns. And I know that sounds crazy. It's like, why do you want Cody to lose? But I think that while he's very hot, you know what I'm saying, you put him in that position to have a big match, and he loses, and that's when he realizes, like, oh, things are different. Like, I got to work my way up. I can't just come here expecting to be a main eventer like that. So then later down the line, you could have a feud with those two again, where he defeats him possibly at the next WrestleMania if he doesn't fight The Rock.
Interesting. Omar, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I agree, actually. Like, people forget that 2016, that's basically what they did with AJ Styles when he came in, right? I remember, like, AJ debuted at the Rumble, but right after Mania, he was in the main event against Roman Reigns in the top spot. So I think, like, you can do it. You can have Cody lose at like after Mania to Roman for the belt, and tell a good story like that, and tell like a little bit of a redemption story, and maybe then Cody goes off and does a U.S. Open challenge or what have you, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of different ways you could do it, but I do think that like Cody immediately going to the world title picture would make him feel important.
Yep.
And it would kind of put that in the minds of a lot of WWE fans who maybe have not paid attention to Cody Rhodes over the past number of years, right? Because look, like, there's obviously a large section of the fans in WWE who didn't really pay too much attention. Like, they heard AEW, Cody Rhodes, all this stuff, but they haven't really watched it, right?
Yep.
So make him feel important and put him in the main event. You can have him look strong and lose, and then tell another story where maybe exactly like Plana said, a year from now, after that Rock Roman Reigns match, they have Cody win the belt, or there's a few different ways they can go about it. But my concern with Cody, just real quickly, is not with what happens like directly afterwards or even in the SummerSlam. My concern more so is what happens 8 months down the line, 12 months down the line, because WWE have gone all in on people before. They've gone all in on AJ Styles, like people who've been outside the company, right?
Yep.
My issue is I'm concerned with especially the way the company tends to some of the trends I've noticed from the company now. My concern is that eventually they'll get to a point where they just won't put as much effort or as much thought into Cody stuff as they would like now when he first debuts. And, you know, over time, I think that it's very easy for them to lose focus on that. So I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I want them to be good. I want it to be good, but that's a huge concern of mine. I'm not going to lie.
For sure. I mean, I think everybody has a right to be concerned. I'm already on record saying this, so this is probably becoming redundant, but there's something called a WWE guy and an indie wrestler. And Cody Rhodes went to AEW as the WWE guy. And, you know, I think a lot of AEW fans loved Cody Rhodes because they saw him trying to fit in. And then the minute that he decided to leave, they turned on him. And when you turn on him, obviously they were offended that he became the WWE guy again. With Cody showing up to WWE, I think, and I could be wrong, but I think that he is going in fully as the WWE guy. He's going to continue to tell stories like a typical WWE wrestler. He will wrestle the WWE style, but also look at his presence, the suits, the jackets, the way he presents himself inside the ring and outside of the stadium. Cody Rhodes is, in fact, a WWE guy. And that's why I feel like right now there is a huge emotional attachment to being anti-WWE. There is a serious audience out there that wants to see WWE fail. They want to see Cody Rhodes a year from now not do anything relevant. And I think it is very, very important that not only WWE trolls the WWE universe, I think they really should. Whether it's Shane McMahon's music or something, they need to do something to make people like pissed off for just a quick second, because then when Cody really comes out, it's going to feel bigger and better than ever. We did get a super chat from Allison Tuckwab for $4.99. Allison says, what about Veer versus Seth Rollins? Now, I don't want to actually take this into a serious conversation because I don't see that being likely. But if you don't have Shane McMahon punk out everybody, Veer would be just, I mean, literally for 6 months or whatever it's been, they've been teasing Veer coming to WWE. So I'm not saying they have to do that, but just imagine everybody's chanting Cody, 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 and then it's Veer, right? Like, obviously you still have Cody come out. But my point that I'm making is that WWE is at a point right now where Cody is the big attraction. And anything less than Cody leaves people disappointed. And every person that becomes anti-WWE will literally not shut up about it for the next 5 to 6 years. That to me is a guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
What if it's Gable Steveson?
Oh, you don't debut him like that. That's not going to be good.
Yeah, that, I mean,
Not going to be good.
that's how you bury a guy. Like,
Yeah,
you
no,
don't-
I agree.
I mean, and here's the thing: like, if they never played into the Cody stuff, 100%,
Yeah,
you can do that. Now, we will talk about Omos versus Lashley, but I actually think Gable Steveson should have been put with Omos actually instead. I do want to talk about Drew McIntyre and Happy Corbin. I'll be honest with you guys, I have no interest talking about this match, but we got to go through the card. I'll just hit you guys with a quick prediction. Drew McIntyre wins. Drew McIntyre moves on to Roman Reigns on television the following week. I think Drew is going to be slated for the top feud with Roman for right now. I think Happy Corbin will actually, because right now, Happy Corbin, Baron Corbin, it's technically two separate things. I think Happy Corbin, this is the end of it. I think Madcap Moss completely screws something up. They split up because of it. Drew McIntyre wins. And Drew McIntyre might be the first person to kick out of the end of days or the happy days, whatever they're calling it. But a quick prediction, Drew McIntyre moves on, and hopefully this thing is never brought up on TV ever again.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think Drew McIntyre wins, and that's it.
Yeah, guys, this has been the Miz versus Damian Priest feud of this year, hasn't it? Just the feud that never ends. I mean, oh God, look, I hope two things come of this. One, I hope this feud ends, obviously, and two, I hope that Drew finally loses the sword. Like it's cool for his entrances, right? But
Yeah.
then, like, when they incorporate it in storylines, I just think it's so dumb because no one's ever gonna hit anyone with a sword in WWE. Like, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna hit him with the edge of the sword, the side of the sword that no one ever uses. It's like when they use a sledgehammer and
Yeah.
they end up doing like the covering their hand with. I'm just like, why even bring it out? Just use a Singapore cane, use a steel chair, whatever. Just I don't know.
I mean, I guess it
Got
makes sense. Like, little kids are going to pop. Like, I don't know if you saw the last segment on Raw. They were playing darts, and then there was a sword. And when the sword came up, all the kids were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
And the crowd got like a reaction out of that. I think what every wrestling fan or WWE fan should do is think like a child when watching the product, and you'll understand it a lot more.
Yeah. I hate the sword thing, by the way, but the one thing I do want to mention about the sword, and this is totally unrealistic, but you guys ever see those like toy knives that like if you press it against the fist of your hand, like the knife goes in? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very unlikely that they have a toy sword like that, but I'm just saying, unless they do some shit like that, I don't want to see anything else with a sword. I get it.
Can you imagine?
Do they sell
Corbin
toys?
just died.
Trying to do that? Like, it's just like, oh my god, Madcap Moss just got stabbed in the heart at WrestleMania. Oh my god.
All right, we got to move on. We're done talking about that.
We spent too much on that.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. The Usos versus Rick Boogs, Shinsuke Nakamura. This is actually, sadly, another match I just don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
I could spend like 3 hours telling you guys how the SmackDown Tag Team Championship belts don't mean anything. I actually, believe it or not, though, I don't think the Usos win. And
Ooh,
I know
into that.
it's weird, but I think WWE is incredibly high with Rick Boogs. So I think they might do something here. The Bloodline can't hold these belts forever, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah, I'm just getting the itch that the Usos end up losing somehow. Rick Boogs, a.k.a. Rick Rude 3.0. That's what somebody told me. That's what people are telling me. They're like, bro, he looks like Rick Rude. And he looks like the other guy. He looks like that.
He looks like a roidy Joey Ryan is what he looks like.
No. Who's that singer? I can't think of his name. But you guys know who I'm talking about.
Freddie Mercury.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I seen the memes of Rick Rude and Freddie Mercury, that type of thing. I see it. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like WWE's incredibly high on him, and they'll figure out a way to make them win. I mean, the reason why I'm not really interested in this match is because it's like there's really nothing to it. But if you guys want to add something, go ahead, or we can move on, whatever you want.
I just want to say, Shinsuke Nakamura, I feel, is like kind of overrated. At least in WWE, like this guy has done nothing, and I don't care for him. I don't care for Rick Boogs. The Usos, I think, are going to retain and hold the titles for another like 6 months because there's just, I think you need a credible tag team to take them down. This is just so random, I feel.
Yeah. What about you, Omar?
Yeah,
What do you got?
I mean, look, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun match. Like it's going to be fun when it gets into the in-ring action. But ever since Nakamura won the Rumble back in 2018, it's just been a downward spiral. Like as far as the importance of him in WWE, Usos win, and the main reason is just that visual on SmackDown the next week of the Usos, the entire bloodline holding up all those belts. I just think that's too much to. Like WWE is gonna want that moment, and
I got
the Usos winning.
I can see
that.
That's a good point. Cool. Yeah. So maybe I changed my answer. We'll see. Maybe I don't change my answer. So if they do win, I could pretend like I knew it this entire time. The match I don't actually. This is the funny thing too. I have zero expectations for this match because I hate everything about the storyline being built. But Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. It's reportedly the match that's going to go on last, but it's technically not going to be the main event. I just want to say quickly, Ronda Rousey wins. She's going to make Charlotte Flair tap out. I don't think... I don't know what the hell they do. I just know that Charlotte's tapping. I would say with 99.9% certainty, there's no other way that they end this match. Rousey goes on a ridiculously long championship reign. I like Ronda Rousey. I just don't like what they have done here. With this storyline. The storyline sucks in my opinion. Honestly, I really just don't like it. But yeah, I have Ronda Rousey winning and there's not much to it. What do you guys think?
I don't think they ever... Exactly. I don't think they ever... She's been in the WWE league. I think there could have been so much more you could have done with her by just giving her like a manager, like a Paul Heyman kind of thing. I don't know why they haven't, But I think she's going to win. For some reason, I feel like the WWE might bring back Kurt Angle to be her mouthpiece. She's been using his finisher, and I saw way back they wanted him back to manage someone else from NXT, so why not do it for Ronda Rousey, I don't know. She needs someone because she cannot survive in feuds by herself.
She can't. And, one thing I do want to add to that, too, is Kurt Angle being a heel would be really nice, honestly. And look, Charlotte Flair's got Ric Flair. I know Ric Flair ain't coming to TV. And it's not like Ric Flair is young enough to be just jumping in the ring doing like a mixed tag team match, obviously. But the one thing I do want to mention is if you have Kurt Angle cost Charlotte the match for Ronda Rousey to win, and then Rousey puts in the ankle lock, like, a lot of people would be pissed off about it, and then you got to embrace it, right? Like, we know that she can't carry these promos. We know on a weekly basis, like, we know Rousey is a good wrestler. We know that she could be very good, but she doesn't sell it with her talking. And I think if she turns heel, that would be really cool. And if you have a heel Kurt Angle, like Kurt Angle walking down the ramp, for example, he would get a massive babyface pop, right? People would be excited to see Kurt Angle, and then what do you know? Kurt Angle ends up cheating something. He could do something
and then he could go on and talk about how she's a wrestling machine, like how he was. So I kind of could see something like that. I don't think it's gonna happen. I would just want to see that.
Yeah, it's probably not likely, but it could be the thing that turns this match into a really good match. And by the way, too, I do want to point this out. There's a lot of matches that we have talked about so far, and there's a lot more. But a lot of these matches that we're talking about, they all have potential to be really good because they're all talented people. It's just the storylines, the build up leaves me with like terrible feelings towards it, and this is one of those matches where I feel like we should all be excited about it. It could be a really good match, but the build up has sucked, honestly. And I don't know. I'm just not with it.
Yeah. I mean, I said it in the beginning, like, what build up? I mean, it's just because like both of these wrestlers are such, like, I don't want to say despised heels, but like no one really there's no one you really want to cheer for. I mean, I'm in the minority because I'm a huge Ronda Rousey fan. Like I just am. Like, she's the reason I got back into UFC back in like 2015. Like, her rise was amazing to watch.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, there's been really no substantive storyline. This is just a way for them to take the belt off of Charlotte so she can eventually win it back and become the 18-time world champion, whatever, right? Yep. Ronda should win. Ronda's going to win. And the payoff for this win should be Ronda versus Becky at some point, whether it's SummerSlam, Mania next year. That is a big-time money match that needs to happen at some point while Ronda is still wrestling. Because the way it ended last time with Charlotte getting put into the match, and then we all know the botched ending, right?
Yeah.
I think it left a bad taste in everyone's mouth, including Ronda's, apparently. She's let everyone know on Twitter. But yeah, no, Ronda needs to win this match. And look, say what you want about Ronda Rousey, not a great promo. I'm not going to defend that. But in the ring, anyone who says she's not like at least good, like I think like I don't know. I think she's really good. She comes across as a threat in the ring. She comes across as a massive star to me. And again, I have my own biases on that, and I acknowledge that. But yeah, Ronda, she's got to win. And yeah, that's the end of my ranting.
Sure. We did get 2 super chats really quick. I just want to address them. Albert Pons dropped a super chat for $2. He said the Raw Tag Team title match could steal a show. I do actually agree with that statement, and I know we'll be talking about that match in a little bit. Allison dropped a super chat for $1.99, and Allison says WWE is turning into a children's show. I actually don't agree with that statement. I think to a certain extent there are some things that could be very childish, but ultimately WWE has been improving a lot lately. I don't know if you guys want to add anything to that, but I just want to bring that up.
I mean, NXT 2.0 is a very like sexually charged show. If you guys watch it,
they're horny, bro.
Like, there's a lot of, very, very, a lot of innuendos, a lot of just blatant like, whoa, okay, is this I'm not sure that's PG, to quote R-Truth, but yeah, but hey, I mean, look, it's like I'll say this about NXT 2.0 real quick. Sure. Even though I'm not like a huge fan necessarily of the product, I get why it works. And say what you want. That is like the one show in WWE where they have consistent character development every week.
I mean, I'll just say this. Every match that we've talked about so far, out of all of them, maybe like 3 or 4 of them have actually had like real storytelling, like being like part of the build up, right? They've actually like not everything on the WrestleMania card. I feel like a lot of things on the WrestleMania card have just kind of been thrown together, whether it was done very lazy, very little effort, I don't know. But NXT Stand and Deliver, for some reason, every match has a story that's like long-term storytelling. So there is a little bit of truth to that. Did you guys want to add any more thoughts to the Rousey Charlotte Flair thing?
No, I think we've talked enough about that match. We said real quick, and it was like 10 minutes now.
Yeah, I know, right? My bad. We're live, just things happen.
We still got the New Day match. I don't know if you forgot about it.
Well, I don't know if that's actually on the night one. Is it confirmed for night one? It is night one.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to be Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and we have Ridge Holland and Sheamus, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, my quick prediction is Sheamus and Ridge Holland win.
Really?
Yeah, Butch is going to help them win. They're going to stand tall. And I think the New Day needs a change. So hopefully this could lead to that. Hopefully. I think they need a change. It's to me, it's been overdone. Big E is going to be out for an extensive time period.
I don't know if he's coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he could come back. I try to remain positive, but I just think it's time for a change, and I think this is the time to do it. And, Xavier Woods can cut a hell of a promo. Maybe this is the way to do it. Maybe have them just lose and Xavier Woods turns on them. I don't know. I like WrestleMania to be the platform where you do a very, very aggressive change, and the idea of New Day splitting up, it's something I will constantly fantasize about in terms of fantasy booking, so that's what I would do. Plus, Ridge Holland and Sheamus having their big tag team debut, for WrestleMania, I don't see why you would have them lose. Plus, you could have Butch cheat. Something, I don't know. There's not much to it, honestly. I forgot this match was even on the card.
Yeah, I agree.
Not much to say. But I still think the New Day are going to win. Just because Big E broke his neck, and this is like, oh, let's get a revenge. That's what I think. And this feud just kind of ends. But I do see your point with Sheamus and Ridge Holland winning a big one.
Maybe WrestleMania Backlash, right? maybe WrestleMania
WrestleMania
Backlash.
Extreme Rules, baby.
WrestleMania SmackDown 2.0 on Friday Night 5. We did get another super chat from Zachary for $4.99. He says, imagine an MMA UFC stable that has Brock Lesnar, Riddle, and Ronda Rousey. They can do something similar to Mox and Bryan stable with young talent. I love the idea of MMA stables. I do want to get through the rest of the predictions. So, Zachary, thank you for your super chat. What I will say is right now that doesn't work because Ronda Rousey is on SmackDown, Riddle's on Raw. Plus, right now, I think WWE shouldn't do anything like that just yet, only because AEW has their own MMA faction. We don't want them copying each other. Let's go to Kevin Owens. I mean, technically, it's not a match. Kevin Owens, Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't really think this requires a prediction. I think it's pretty simple. Stone Cold's going to show up. They're going to fight for a little bit during ringside. Do you guys think anything big is going to happen out of this? I think it's very obvious. Stone Cold's just going to kick him with a couple stunners, maybe brawl around for a little bit. Maybe Kevin
an
Owens.
interesting idea that said that maybe Stone Cold could have a brawl, and then if he likes it, maybe he has a match night 2 with Kevin Owens, an official match.
Oh, that's
I don't
nice.
know.
There was rumors that Stone Cold is getting beefed up, and he's getting like very strong, and there's belief that he might be feuding with Lesnar and Roman Reigns in 2022.
I can't. I don't know. I like the idea of them building up a match to make night 2 even better. That could be cool, but I think it's just going to lead to a little brawl, a stunner, and some beers, and that's it. Call it a night.
Yeah. I can see that.
Which I'm excited for it, though. It's going to be cool. It's a cool moment.
By the way, I think this needs to be said publicly if I haven't said this on my channel. Shout out to Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins for legitimately the two things I'm actually most excited about on night 1. Two guys are missing from the equation. Cody is not there. Stone Cold hasn't been there. And Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins have literally built up their feuds, their matches, their segments with nobody showing up. Like, dude, literally, something needs to be said about them because of how well they've been doing. They're one of the reasons why I've been watching Raw. So just credit to them.
You gotta ask the question: is it because of the booking, or is it because of the two performers?
Both.
Both.
I think both. Honestly, Kevin Owens coming out in the Stone Cold Steve Austin stuff, like, that was beautiful. But Kevin Owens is the perfect guy for that role, right? And then I think when you see Seth Rollins, and I said this before, I said Seth Rollins, since COVID started, when he was doing the Monday Night Messiah, if that character didn't happen, this character doesn't work today. If Cody Rhodes shows up at WrestleMania, of course it's a big deal. But the storytelling that WWE has put in place with Cody not being there and Seth Rollins wants an opponent that bad, again, it works because of his character that they've been building for 2 years. That is good writing. And people hate Seth Rollins to a certain extent because he's cringy, he's annoying, he's all this bullshit. So imagine this guy going up against Cody Rhodes. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, I know a lot of people want to talk shit about WWE, and they do it for Twitter engagement and blah, 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 you know. But as far as that goes, I think Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins individually are incredibly talented, so they made this work. But also credit to WWE for giving them the hardest task, by the way, right? That's a very difficult task. And I think they've knocked it out of the park. And these are the two things that night one, like, I can't miss it. Like, there is no such thing as me taking a shit or grabbing a beer or something. Like, I'm not missing this, right? And actually, one thing I'll add too is if you're starting off WrestleMania, you want it to end in a big way, you can't have anybody come after Stone Cold, right? It's been 19 years. He has to end the show.
Especially in Texas.
100%, especially in Texas. Now, with that being said, I want to make it very, very clear for the sake of starting the show, the Seth Rollins thing would be massive. Because you know when the Burn It Down hits, everybody will go nuts because they know it's Cody coming out. So start off the show on fire, end the show on fire, then you could get to the real WrestleMania, which is night 2. Because in my opinion, that's the real WrestleMania. Night 2 is the real big show. So let's move on to night 2. Let's see what's happening here. Night 2. Let's start off with Bobby Lashley versus Omos. I mean, I don't really have much to say about this. I wish the spot was given to Gable Steveson. That doesn't appear to be the case here. So Bobby Lashley's going to verse Omos. I'm sure Omos, they'll try to present him in a big way. I think Lashley literally spears him like 2-3 times, gets the job done, call it a show, call it a match. Do you guys see anything differently happening here?
Yeah, I see something really differently happening. And it's only because, like to me, like, value of Omos, you know, being who he is, right, is some whether it's a young guy or some new person comes in and beats him, someone who needs to kind of have a story to you know, be on the come up, right? And I think the person to do that is actually Gable Steveson. I think in this match, I think you can have Bobby Lashley obviously not look strong, but get some offense in without, you know, like slamming him or picking him up or whatever, right? Maybe he gets a spear in. But I think Omos has to win because literally, like, from the reports that we've seen and also like some of the in-ring action we've seen, you know, he's not the greatest. And yeah, like if Bobby Lashley has to lose here for Gable Steveson, like 2-3 months down the line to look strong, I think it's worth it because Bobby Lashley is already a made guy. You know, he's getting up there. People don't realize this. He's like 45 years old now, which again, in wrestling years nowadays is nothing, right? Because Sting is like 65 and he's doing whatever he's doing.
That is true.
Yeah, but I mean, just to wrap it up, for me, it's I think Omos should win because that's the kind of the position WWE's put themselves in at this point by booking this match in the first place.
Yeah.
And have Gable Steveson eventually be the guy to beat them. That's how you put him over strong. Gable Steveson, when he comes in, should have like the Brock Lesnar 2002 booking of just running through the entire WWE on his way to a world title.
I can't disagree with that, honestly. I could see a little bit of that happening. What about you, Valen?
I don't think I want to see that, and I know it makes a lot of sense and everything, but I'm personally, maybe this is like my my hardcoreness coming out. I'd rather see like Bobby Lashley versus Gable Steveson, Steveson in a big match, you know. And I just don't want to see Bobby Lashley lose to Omos. Omos is ass, bro. Like, I'm sick of this guy. Like, get off my screen. and never come back, bro. Why'd you get rid of Braun? Because you thought you had Omos? Come on, like that was crazy.
Yeah, you had Omos, Shanky, and Kurt. What's that one dude's name?
Aziz or whatever.
Oh yeah, Admiral Aziz, man. You got
Both trash,
together.
like trash. So I don't care about Omos. I never will. I don't want to see this guy. Like, yes, he's big, but that's it. Like, bro, I don't care if you're big. Like, just get out of my face.
So
at least Kali was over in India, man. At least
That is
Kali
true.
was over.
That
Kali
is
was
true.
not. This guy was squeezing heads. He squeezed Rey Mysterio's head to the point where he was bleeding. Like,
Presentation
come
of
on.
Kali was insane. Yeah.
So one thing that I was gonna say too, just like, you know,
I love Bobby. That's all I want to say. I love Bobby, so I don't want to see him lose.
I do like Bobby Lashley, and it's tough, right? One thing I do want to see, WWE did this during the pandemic. I want to say it happened. Timothy Thatcher fought against Matt Riddle in NXT in the Fight Pit, the Lion's Den, which was like a steel cage structure with a top platform. And it was something I really, really loved. I love seeing innovation. I love seeing them do things like this. Obviously, we had seen it before. I think it was Owen Hart and Ken Shamrock. I could be wrong. Not 100% sure. But one thing I do want to see with Gable Stevenson coming in, there is a lot of talk about Gable Stevenson eventually going into the UFC. Bobby Lashley does have that Bellator background. I'm just saying it wouldn't be a bad idea for WWE Raw one day. If you want to do it, you can have Gable Stevenson versus Bobby Lashley in the Lion's Den. It would make Raw. It would be a special feeling to Raw. It's just something I would definitely.
I think you book a WrestleMania match next year with those two, and then after that, you book something on Raw or like WrestleMania Backlash or something.
Yeah, so we did get a super chat from Zachary for $1.99. Zachary says Lashley under no circumstances loses. He just can't. I mean, man, it's 50-50. I mean, at this point, it's 50-50 for me.
It's smart super chat.
Right, and then Albert Ponce just dropped a $5 super chat. He says, what if you have MVP help Omos win and forms a new stable with the heel steel Street Profits, new tag team champs as well?
I think that's just doing too much. Like, Bobby's Bobby. Like, that's his boy. That's ride or die. You can't, cut those two out of there.
It's
like,
so strange, though, because Bobby's a babyface now, right? Clearly.
Yeah.
That's very interesting
I mean,
to me.
I think he's going
Omos-
to Roman. Roman might
Omos
have
to me
two
isn't that guy.
simultaneous feuds. Like on Raw, he might feud with Bobby, while on SmackDown, he feuds with Drew.
Interesting. One thing I will say, and I feel bad for Omos because I don't think this is Omos's fault. A lot of people forget that he was one of the ninjas during COVID with Akira Tozawa. Okay? So a lot of people do forget that. This guy obviously is there because he is tall. He's got the look. He is everything that Vince McMahon loves. Why pay Braun Strowman $1 million when you could pay this guy obviously a lot less? So I actually don't hate the idea of MVP helping Omos win. And I'm going to explain why. Omos is in a situation where he is going to have a very hard time getting over. If you do have Omos get some help from MVP, now I think you could really push Bobby Lashley as a babyface. And with Roman Reigns being a heel, I think there is money, by the way, with Roman Reigns and Lashley. If you have Lashley get through Omos eventually and the Street Profits, whatever, you could do 50-50 booking back and forth, whatever. Eventually, you have Lashley go up against Reigns. That is something that I could see possibly happening because it's not Omos's fault that WWE just puts him on TV. They rush him. And at least with Omos losing, at least with him winning at WrestleMania and then eventually losing to Lashley, it makes sense. And then he could go into obscurity, whatever. I don't know. It's a tough situation, honestly. I feel bad for the guy more than anything.
I just don't think he's got it. That's it. I don't think he has it.
Yeah, that's why I'm like really not high on the idea of them forming a stable around Omos. Like, I think like if you're gonna have MVP turn and do all that stuff, do it for someone who you see a future in. The name Gable Stevenson keeps coming up for me because I'm a huge fan and I think you could do a lot with him that would work. But
I fear for him. I fear for Gable Stevenson because we don't know what his personality's like. We know that he could wrestle.
Yeah.
He celebrates his wins doing like flips and shit. So this guy will be impressive in the ring. He's going to be able to move very well. Will he be able to cut a promo? Will he be able to talk? Like, there's a lot of pressure on this kid. I do like the idea of MVP being with him as well. That's not a bad idea. There's a lot of people in WWE who could be managers, but WWE doesn't really do managers either. aside
It's
from
weird, I know.
they're very weird about that. So that is something to keep in mind because I don't know if I have high hopes for that. That is something to think about. Let's move on to the Raw Tag Team Championship match. RK Bro, Street Profits, Alpha Academy. Honestly, this is potentially match of the night, by the way. Definitely, like, I know this sounds crazy. There's a lot of matches that could steal the show. This is definitely one that could steal the show. Randy Orton is having a ton of fun. Riddle is really good. Street Profits are obviously really good. I don't know which route WWE goes here. I almost think that they're going to have RK Bro retain the belts. If they don't retain the belts, I want to see Street Profits go heel. They're kind of teasing it. That would be the only other way to go. But I do believe RK Bro should drop the belts, and they need to set up a singles feud between Riddle and Randy. Whether that happens today, maybe WrestleMania Backlash or SummerSlam, I don't know. But the SummerSlam program should be Randy versus Riddle. So if I'm WWE, I would have RK Bro win this match and then have them drop the belts later on television or WrestleMania Backlash. Omer, what do you think? And then we'll go to Valen.
Yeah, I mean, I think RK Bro has to get this win here, and it's not. It's mainly because I want to see Street Profits actually break up. I think Montez Ford has superstar, like, one of the, like, he can be the top guy in your company. I to me, I put him in the same class of, like, as like an in-ring performer, as he's probably, he and Ray Phoenix are, like, to me, the funnest wrestlers to watch in the ring, because they're just doing insanely, like, insane stuff, right? I mean, like WWE Day One, like, I saw Montez Ford fly, literally take flight over the top, the turnbuckle or whatever. It was insane. But yeah, I want to see them kind of move on. I want to see all three of these teams kind of move in some other direction, because I feel like we've been getting some variation of these three teams over the past, like, what, 3-4 months now. I think it's kind of run its course. I love Alpha Academy. Chad Gable is doing the work of his WWE career. Shoosh is over. And but yeah, I think the money right now is in RK Bros and Riddle, and them breaking up. And I think it would mean a lot more if one of them costs the other the tag team titles down the line. But yeah, I also just think they're the most over people, so I think they're gonna go over.
What do you think, Valen?
Well, first I want to say that this should have been a ladder match. You got Riddle, you got Montez Ford, Chad Gable. I think a lot of cool things could have been done. So WWE definitely missed
Otis
that.
climbing that ladder.
Oh my god!
Otis and
Did you forget about Money in the Bank?
2020 was the year of nobody, but it was the year of the Otis.
So that's the first thing I want to say. But I do think this goes two ways. Either RK Bro just wins it, or the Street Profits win, maybe with cheating or whatever. And then I think that Randy Orton, the heel turn you're looking for, the unexpected, which isn't really unexpected because Randy Orton turns on everyone, but I think the unexpected heel turn is Orton RKOing Riddle and starting that feud if they lose the titles at the show.
Damn, bro. Do you know 60,000 people would boo Randy Orton, which they don't want to do, by the way. Right now, they're loving Randy Orton, so I do think it is the right time.
True. But that would be like a big moment that people would talk about, I feel. And it would get Riddle over, you know? A lot of people would be like, damn, you just turned on your boy like that? Like, fuck you.
I can't say for sure what WWE's plans were. I know in the middle of this, in the past year or so, within the last 6 months, there was rumors that WWE had plans for Riddle and Randy Orton to be a WWE Championship feud. So this was before Reigns and Lesnar became title versus title. But there was a rumor that WWE was seriously planning that. I talked about that on the channel, and I said, you know, that's a start-making feud, right? Obviously, Randy Orton putting over Riddle. I think WWE eventually, and we'll talk about it when we get Lesnar and Reigns, but I think WWE eventually goes to having one championship belt. If you got Cody coming in, the world title scene is very, very crowded. So I do think this is a very crazy scenario for Riddle, because I think him and Randy would be great, but I would love to see something more on the line than just, you know, Randy Orton turn on him, right? I think it would be really cool. And maybe the U.S. Championship is something that could be on the line. I don't know. I
don't think they need that, because I feel like the the storyline they built, like the friendship they built, it feels so real that a turn would be enough for me to be like, damn, I'm invested in that match. Because sometimes like you need a title because a lot of people don't care.
Yeah.
But these two feel like a brotherhood kind of thing
Yeah.
that they have going on.
I mean, just that pop when Randy Orton says he has a friend and Matt Riddle, that was massive. You know, that was...
If anything, maybe Riddle turns on him first. I know that's super random, but
That
I really
scares
hope
me.
that's what it is.
That scares me,
You
though.
know what scares me more, Ango? You know what scares me more?
Hit me.
Raw opening up Raw with a 15-minute heel Randy Orton promo. Oh my god, I'm getting anxiety at the thought of it.
This is crazy.
Riddle me this.
You know what's really cool?
Oh god.
You know what's really cool though, I will say, as we're talking about our predictions, this is the WrestleMania that I am probably the least excited for because of the build, but this will probably be the one that impresses me the most because when you fantasy book all of these different ideas and all of these different things and what they can lead to, there's just a lot of potential based on what they have right now. And I know a lot of people think I just cover AEW or I only like AEW, but I have been very impressed with WWE lately. And I have to admit, like, I don't know if I've admitted this before, but when RK Bro became a thing, I was scratching my damn head. I was like, there's no way they got Randy Orton doing this shit. But I can honestly say that RK Bro is one of the reasons why I watch Raw on a weekly basis. And every single week, they've managed to do something really awesome. And I think you're right, honestly, Valen, when you mentioned the championship belt not being on the line, like not being part of the picture, after hearing that, I could see that being the case because they've just done such a good job on TV. That intrigues me. I also want to point out Myra dropped a $5 super chat, and she says, Montez Ford has the it factor. Whenever that transition to single star happens, I'll be here cheering him on. That is something I am actually thinking. Maybe we don't get Randy Orton and Riddle turning yet. Maybe they retain. Maybe Montez Ford uses this spotlight in front of 60,000 plus fans and turns on Angelo Dawkins. That could be something that happens too. But this for sure is the match that for sure could steal the night. And by the way, I don't know which one of you said the ladder match. Shame on WWE for not putting a stipulation on this match. Because a stipulation would just make this feel even more important. But who knows? We still technically got SmackDown, so things could technically change. But yeah.
Super weird that they don't have like a stipulation match really on this card. Like considering like every year they have like some 6-man intercontinental title match or whatever, like on a like, you know, like they usually have that and they don't this year, which is kind of weird to me because this match with everyone involved, it just fits. Like it would be crazy.
100%.
Either this or you could have had Ricochet with the other guys, the New Day, Ridge Holland, Sheamus, make that a ladder match.
Yeah, I mean that works too. Honestly.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's talk about Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville.
Oh yeah.
This is, you know, I know a lot of people hate this. I don't give a shit what a lot of people think. If I'm being honest, my opinion here is that this is a beautiful. Congratulations to Sami Zayn for being part of WrestleMania in a major singles match. WWE has put Kevin Owens, you know, in a very big singles opportunity. Now they're doing the same thing with Sami Zayn. I know celebrities always get the win. With how many bad things have happened to Sami Zayn, I really, 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 really hope this leads to Sami Zayn turning babyface. So therefore, I actually need him to lose this match. Now, my prediction is pretty simple. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I would love WWE to do this match half cinematic and half in the ring. So what I mean by that is that, and it's tough because they have the crowd, right? They have the crowd there. What I would do is have them fight pre-recorded backstage, maybe in the parking lot, a whole bunch of stuff just before the match even technically starts. It could be pre-recorded, showing on the Titantron. They're doing like a backstage brawl type of thing. Johnny Knoxville just taking up a whole bunch of jackass type of stunts, right? Getting thrown in a dumpster, a whole bunch of random stuff happening. And then once it's ready to go live, they can come through the crowd, get into the ring. I think Johnny Knoxville needs to win, and somebody needs to help him win. We talked about this in my Discord. I actually want to share this because to me this was money, and maybe you guys disagree, but that's why I said I don't want to take too long on this. Somebody in my Discord had mentioned this. So I brought up the idea of the cinematic match, right? Albert Ponce responded in the Discord. He says, LA Knight. Yeah. Now, I want Sami Zayn to turn babyface. Johnny Knoxville winning, you always want the celebrity to go over. Sami Zayn deserves a push further after this. How about having LA Knight just help Johnny Knoxville get the win, and now that sets up LA Knight being the heel and Sami Zayn as a babyface. SmackDown singles feud. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong here, but what do you guys think about that?
I feel like that would be kind of super random, but
It would be.
if that's what it's going to take for LA Knight to come to the main roster as soon as possible, I'm down for it,
Yeah.
because that guy should not be in NXT right now. He is one of the best talkers in WWE, so he should be on the main roster. He's got the experience in the ring. He's a good wrestler. I think he could be a great mid-card champion. So, like I said, Sami Zayn versus him also sounds like a lot of fun. So I would be down for it. And just like I said, though, it's really random, but because it makes so sense for him to help John Knoxville. Like, what? Are they boys now or something?
Well, maybe backstage you see Johnny Knoxville calling random people, right? You could tell the story. Him calling random people like, hey, I'm getting my ass handed to me. I don't know where Sammy is. I'm trying to find him. Can you help me? Like, nobody answers his calls, right? Because everybody thinks he's a prick for leaking out, Sami Zayn's number to the public. Like, I don't know. Like, I know it's silly. It's kind of outrageous.
I could see more of, like, the cast of, like, Jackass coming and helping him since this isn't anything goes match. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch Jackass Forever, by the way?
No.
I watched it. It's nutty. It is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I grew up watching Jackass.
It's every Jackass movie.
Is it worth watching?
I mean, dude, I think it's worth watching. Definitely. I'm surprised WWE even promoted this movie because I had seen a lot of stuff I did not expect. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's the same Jackass I grew up watching. A lot of crazy shit. Literally, it's crazy. Yeah. But, I mean, I could see Jasper and some, Wee Man and everybody getting involved too. Like, that could be funny. But, the thing is, for Jackass to get involved, it does make sense logically. But I'm trying to paint a picture of how it could benefit the WWE and having somebody, like, yes, it is random LA Knight to join Johnny Knoxville, but they could piece it together. They're not stupid. And also, I think, like, you don't want Sami Zayn to, and technically, you could have Sami Zayn beat Johnny Knoxville. But I think the story with Sami Zayn is not about being a wrestler. It's a character. He's got this conspiracy, right? For years, he's been telling this story. And now, because he's become such a prick and such an asshole, he's become like this bad guy. It kind of goes back to what I was saying about Seth Rollins. It's like he's kind of done this to himself. He is his own worst enemy. So this could be a situation where, now he becomes the babyface. And I love LA Knight, but I think LA Knight, like, right now, he should come in as a heel anyways. And I know a lot of people don't think that celebrities should win matches at WrestleMania, but I believe in business decisions. That makes sense. And it's a good business decision to have your celebrities win. And kind of like the Logan Paul and, Miz thing, right? Like, a lot of young people know what Jackass is. So if there's a way to highlight it while putting over your star, who knows? I mean, look, maybe you have Johnny Knoxville literally win the match clean or whatever the hell happens, but maybe you have Sami Zayn just beat the living shit out of this guy and throw him off the frickin' to the crowd or some shit, Maybe you have him go in a porta potty outside and just make that shit explode, and Johnny Knoxville's stunt is recorded live on WrestleMania. I don't know, but there's a lot of potential there, and I don't want to get too off the hook, but I do think this ends with Johnny Knoxville winning. I don't see it another way.
As I just want it to be known, I don't care what anyone says. Sami Zayn is the babyface. He is the good guy going into this. After what Johnny Knoxville has done to this poor man. One of the saddest things whenever I scroll through on Twitter is seeing the just insane amount of FaceTime calls Sami Zayn gets on a daily basis after Johnny Knoxville leaked his phone number. It's hilarious, and it honestly endears me to Sami Zayn. And it's weird because a lot of the best parts of this feud have really been built on social media.
Yep.
But look, in my eyes, I'm obviously rooting for Sami Zayn. I think Sami Zayn should win because it would just be hilarious for Sami Zayn to have this big victory, him come out on SmackDown, right, and just declare how he is like he beat Johnny Knoxville. He's the shit, and then you could have like someone come out and and beat him, and I don't know. I just think I want to see Sami Zayn get a win, honestly. As a huge Sami Zayn fan, as someone who has just been witnessing the torment that this poor man has been going through, it's time for him to get a win. You know, let's do it. Like, wins for Sami.
Yeah. We did get 2 super chats. One from Albert Ponce for $5. He says, LA Knight is the Hollywood guy in WWE. It's in his name, LOL. Zachary left a super chat for $1.99. He says, to me, LA Knight is Stone Cold level on the mic. Which, by the way, the reason why I'm super happy with this idea of LA Knight and Sami Zayn is because it's character, right? Both guys have a character. I think they would complement each other very well. Plus, I think they'll deliver in the ring.
I think I'd be happier with Johnny Knoxville just winning by himself or with the cast, whatever. And then the next night on SmackDown after WrestleMania, that's where you have, Sami Zayn come out saying that he was screwed, this and that. But then LA Knight. But then again, he would be a face, so maybe that wouldn't work. I mean, I don't know. He could work as a face.
That's not a bad idea either, though. I could see that happening.
That's big pop.
I didn't think Johnny Knoxville would actually be working WrestleMania. So now that they actually have him working WrestleMania, one thing that they could do is they can have Johnny Knoxville actually show up on SmackDown, maybe wanting revenge or something, and then, because I think if you have a celebrity with a debut, you obviously get that rub, right? When people are looking up the YouTube clips like, oh, who's LA Knight? Oh, he's with Johnny Knoxville, right? Like,
yeah,
you could do that on SmackDown. You don't even necessarily have to do that at WrestleMania. But I actually do like the idea of the Jackass cast being there. Nonetheless, let's move on to Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. This is actually my match that I am like the most excited about on this card. Technically, because we don't know for sure that Cody, it's not Cody versus Seth, right? It's Seth Rollins versus TBA. When that happens, I'll be super excited. But right now, as it stands, Pat McAfee, Austin Theory, it's the match that a lot of people are very torn. They're 50-50. My prediction is simple. Pat McAfee wins this match. Austin Theory loses because I've said this for a while. Austin Theory is not in the final form that we are going to see as he grows. So within time, I do believe that Austin Theory will become a bigger star. I think he should be losing this match and then WrestleMania 39 in Los Angeles versus John Cena. So Pat McAfee wins this match. Vince McMahon is disappointed in Austin Theory. Now you could continue telling the story of Austin Theory's rise to the grind. WrestleMania 39, it's Cena versus Theory. I think you could do great storytelling, and then obviously Theory finally gets the torch passed to him. So pretty simple. Pat McAfee shows out. Every person that I've talked to pretty much believes that Austin Theory and Pat McAfee will have a good match. This is the match to me that I think a lot of people are going to be super interested in this match for sure. What do you guys think? I don't know. Whoever wants to go first, whatever. Valen, we'll go with you. Let's have you start, Valen.
I think that these two have done a good job at making people care about the match, but I don't think that Austin Theory is going to lose. I don't think that he should lose. I don't think it's a good look for him to lose to a commentator, because that is all that Pat McAfee is right now, commentator. And I think that's a bad look for him to lose. So I'm going to give Austin Theory the win, but there will be close calls where he does think he's going to lose.
I hate you.
But he doesn't. Yo,
I hate you.
You can't have him lose.
No,
What's
it should
happen,
be
Ango?
Pat McAfee tore it down with Adam Cole in NXT. And I will say this. Here's why I disagree. Pat McAfee has a lot of outside of attention outside of pro wrestling. And I'm just saying, Pat McAfee, NFL guy, it's WrestleMania in Dallas. I know Pat McAfee played for the Colts, but it wouldn't be a bad idea for Austin Theory to get humiliated by some pro football players ringside. I think there's a lot of opportunity there. You have Pat McAfee win. I think the come-up story is a better story for Austin Theory. Also,
so you're building him out as a babyface then. He loses, gets humiliated.
For sure, WWE would absolutely.
But then John Cena would be a babyface if your plan is like 10 face John Cena. Is he going to be a babyface?
Valen, you're smarter than this. John Cena's the movie star now.
Oh my! John Cena will never be booed ever. Even if he comes back acting like Hollywood Cena, we will never boo John Cena again.
We're getting Hollywood Cena. Mark my words. Thank God we're not deleting this live stream. It's staying forever. Hollywood Cena versus Austin Theory, WrestleMania 39.
Yeah, and Cena's gonna be the face.
No, baby, he's gonna be the heel.
Who's gonna get cheered? Who's gonna get cheered? gonna be Cena.
Bro, John Cena can make the entire world hate him. Trust me. He's that good.
No.
Don't underestimate
No,
how
but
good
he's gonna
John
make
Cena
us
is.
hate him so much that we love him. It's gonna be like I'm telling you, it's.
Yeah, like he's gonna get all the older audience to cheer him, like how everyone wanted him to turn heel for so long. You know, I don't know.
This is a
I
tough
don't
one.
think he fights
Real
Austin
quick.
Theory next year.
You don't think so?
Nah, I think he fights someone like Drew McIntyre, maybe a younger person like Gable Stevenson. It's Stevenson, right? Or Steven? I think it's Stevenson. I don't know,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
or Braun Breaker, maybe something like that. I don't think Austin Theory goes after him. I think Austin Theory is gonna be the mid card champion by then.
I don't know. I think they're ready to pull the trigger.
I'm gonna be totally honest with all of you guys. No one to this day has been able to explain Austin Theory to me. I watch him. I watch him wrestle. He's okay, whatever. Watch his promos. They're not really good. I don't get the big hoopla about Austin Theory.
I'll tell you what
really
it
don't.
is. I can explain it to you. No, seriously. This is like the Vince
No,
McMahon.
until when he said it, it's so funny.
Yeah, no. So my first time I ever saw Austin Theory was at Evolve 2018, I think it was. My point that I'm making to Austin Theory is that before he even came to WWE and NXT, he had the Vince McMahon approval, right? He came in, WWE loves their guys to be young. He's like, what, mid-20s or something? He's young. He's got the look. What he doesn't have is he doesn't have this over, like, yes, he's a good wrestler, but he's not like this really crazy, like, indie work rate. He can wrestle the WWE style. He can carry himself the WWE style. That's what Vince McMahon likes. With Austin Theory, I see a lot of parallels between him and John Cena when John Cena was Dr. Thugonomics. Like, obviously, Thugonomics was obviously a lot better, but it wasn't his final form. John Cena really became the guy after Dr. of Thugonomics. And I think that's what happens with Austin Theory. Right now, the way that we see Austin Theory isn't the way that Austin Theory will appear to us in a year or two. We're going to see a different form of him that truly takes off. Now, WWE in that position will end up pushing that version of Austin Theory. So how do you get there? Well, you got to do storytelling. And like I said, the come up is better than just randomly, think of Roman Reigns. He was the guy, right? They wanted you to know he was the guy. They kept shoving you down his throat. He kept winning and winning and winning. This is basically the reverse Roman Reigns thing. I think they're going to have Austin Theory lose the big matches, and then eventually he's going to win fans over. I mean, look, I could be very well wrong, but he is the WWE guy for sure. He fits the WWE style. They're high on him. They're going to make that match happen. John Cena versus Austin Theory, 1,000% it's going to happen. I think it happens at WrestleMania 39, but 1,000,000% you will see it happen.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
I think the Austin Theory is great and all, but I don't know. I don't see him facing John Cena. I don't even know if John Cena will be back next year.
He will be. It's LA. You're going to have everybody there. You're going to have all
He'll
the
be
biggest-
back next year.
You'll have
He'll do
Stone
something.
Cold. You'll have Stone Cold versus Lesnar, Roman Reigns versus The Rock. Pat McAfee will be in a special team match against somebody because it should be a yearly thing. You might even have Logan Paul defending the tag team championship belt. I don't know. But for sure, you'll see it. You'll have Cody Rhodes.
Cody
in a big
versus
match.
John Cena.
Nah.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm...
Cody
Cody-
versus Cena. That's the match. That's the
Nah,
match. Yeah.
I put Austin Theory versus John Cena, passing of the torch. I put Cody versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania 39.
They can do Cody versus AJ Styles whenever. They're probably gonna do that like
Yeah,
Saudi
they're going to do that
Mania,
WrestleMania
TLC or whatever.
Backlash or something.
Like that's a match you can do whenever. I think Cody versus Cena that's a Mania match right there, especially in LA. Like that's a Mania match, and you could do it with a thing where like Cody kind of, he leans in more to like away from the Hollywood thing,
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I think I don't know. I don't see it in Austin Theory. Like he's well enough. He's good enough. He's whatever, right?
I'm gonna
But I
save
don't
this.
see it.
I'm going to save this and wait till WrestleMania 39 to prove you wrong
All right.
about Austin.
Hey,
When Austin
listen.
Theory fights someone like Happy Corbin.
Nah, Happy Corbin's going away after this WrestleMania. I will tell you, though, just so
Yeah.
you guys know, Myra dropped a $5 super chat, and she says, Pat McAfee for the win. So just so you guys know, this is, like, Pat McAfee winning. There's no other way. I'm just
I
telling you.
say Austin Theory, but we'll see what happens.
I love these predictions. I can't wait to see how right or wrong we are.
Yeah, right? We're all over the place.
I know.
The next match that we have is the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Honestly, I don't even want to talk about this match. To me, this is garbage booking. They need to retire these belts. I mean, you should probably just give them to Naomi and Sasha Banks or Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. I don't care about this match because WWE didn't care about this match. So I don't really have much to say. I mean, whatever you guys think if you want to add to it. But to me, this is just a waste of time.
Hey, these belts, these belts just, I mean, like the NXT women's tag team title belts are actually being used better than these belts. Like, I mean, I don't even know why you need them. Like, honestly, they have like 2 sets of these belts like floating around WWE. You could have very easily just made this like either an NXT exclusive thing or maybe merge them at some point. I don't know. But like they have the roster, obviously, I think, to do it. Just don't have the patience to do it. And I don't know. Again, you said it. They've given me no reason to really care outside of, I think, Sasha Banks, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, all those people. They're gonna I think have a well enough match, but I really don't care.
This will be a quick match, by the way, and people will go nuts.
The only good women's tag team champions was Sasha and Bayley. Other than that, I don't think I cared about anyone else. Yeah. Which I'm kind of hoping that maybe Naomi's like, oh, someone knocked her down. Blah, blah, blah. Sasha won't have a partner. And then, boom, that's when Bayley comes back. Oh, I'm just saying. That's fantasy booking. It's not happening.
I do like that. I do like that, though. I will tell you.
That would make this good.
That would be cool.
That would be cool. I do like that. Now, is Bayley cleared, though, or no?
I don't know. They really haven't been talking about it much in the reports and stuff. But I think she is because, like, it's been, 9 months, 10 months?
Yeah, but
like for an ACL injury, that's not like a decent amount of time. Like that's more than enough time. But
yeah, okay, that's cool.
We just saying that's the only way I'll care about this match.
I do like that.
I don't care.
I
just want Sasha to win a WrestleMania match. She's 0-6. Like, come on, that's disrespectful.
0-6?
I'm pretty sure.
That's actually a story, or not a story, but like that's actually a good thing that people are like realizing that she has
like
this insane undefeated or defeated streak, I should say, at WrestleMania. 0-6.
Like, it is the reverse.
What is that bullshit? Yeah, come on. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care. I just want Sasha to win.
Better not be like 0-19. I'm gonna be so pissed if she ends up like
Sasha
being, like,
is
0-10.
like Sasha's like one of the biggest stars in WWE right now, and
the
I think it's stupid how they treat her.
There's so much disrespect.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I did want to say too. Robin Plays Games dropped a $5 super chat. Robin says, "I just want to say that Austin Theory takes the win." Robin loves to just rip me anytime these super chats come alive. Valen, I don't know if you heard about it, but like basically what happens is every time I do the Ango show live, people would send their super chats by accident after the show, right? So I would feel bad. I couldn't read their super chats on the show. So Robin basically got to the point where Robin was just leaving super chats after the show just to rib me. Now, I feel like every time Robin says anything to me in general, it's a rib. So, thank you, Robin, for your super chat.
but no, thank you.
Yeah, but it's definitely Pat McAfee. Anything you guys want to add to that SmackDown? Well, I don't even want to say SmackDown, but the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Anything else you guys want to mention?
If Bayley doesn't come back, I don't care. If Sasha loses, I'm going to be mad, but that's it.
It's time to drop those belts. Get rid of them. Simple as that.
I don't think you drop them. I think you just rebook them and actually, make them meaningful. You don't have to drop them. Just make them special. That's it. Like, is it that much harder to put work into it as a writer or a booker?
Yes. Apparently it is
the WWE,
because
bro.
they have no patience. They have no patience for it, man. Like, just do a storyline where they merge it with the NXT title belts. I think that would actually be functional.
Guys,
Maybe.
I just want to make one thing clear. Just one thing clear. Yeah. Look at NXT's tag team division and the women's division. They actually got women tag teams. These are just randomly thrown around wrestlers to get on a WrestleMania card. It's laziness, bro. They don't care about it. WWE's lazy. They have the potential. I will never question or doubt WWE's potential. But this right here, to me, is just let's get a whole bunch of people on WrestleMania. This, and I hate saying that, but a couple of years ago, do you guys remember when WrestleMania cut the women's match because of time? Like, that's what this feels like. I feel like this is WWE's way of like trying to make up for that. Seriously.
Am I supposed to take Natalya and Shayna Baszler as a tag team? Like, seriously?
It's ridiculous.
That is the most thrown together like tag team I've ever seen.
Yeah. Myra dropped a $5 super chat. She says it's clear WWE does not take the main roster women's tag team titles serious. So as you say, retire them. Also, Albert Pons dropped another $5 super chat and said Robin ribbing Ango is long-term storytelling at its finest. Which is 100% accurate. We are telling stories here on the Ango Show, and A year from now,
Nobody does it better.
we'll see what they lead to, right? Let's move on to Edge versus AJ Styles. I'm super excited about this. This is where WWE does storytelling very well. I actually don't really have much to say about this. This to me is like a 15 to 20 minute match. It should go a little bit longer, in my opinion, because the story's been really good. I have AJ winning this match. I know that's tough. I think it could literally go either way, and I'll be happy with it either way. But I would really love to see AJ win. And dude, I'm excited to see Edge's entrance. Like, that is the one thing. Like, it's WrestleMania, right? This feels like a big deal. It's good storytelling. I have AJ winning, but I don't know what the hell to expect here. What do you guys think? Omer, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm actually less hot on this match than I think a lot of other people are. I think it's going to be a really good match. It has potential to be great. Because Edge and AJ Styles are amazing.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's been build-up's been hit and miss for me. Like, when Edge originally turned heel and like had that like almost hesitant look on his face when he bashed that chair in AJ Styles' head, I thought that was actually really cool. And I thought, like, okay, where are they going to go with this? Then they had him come out, with his blueberry lights or whatever. New theme, by the way, which I like. And I don't know. It just hasn't hit with me as much as I think it should. And it might just be me. But I mean, the build is kind of lukewarm for me. But that being said, it's going to be a really good match. I think Edge is going to get the win because I feel like they're kind of putting the spotlight more on him right now. Like, there's more development going on with him right now than there really is with AJ Styles. I think there's more that they're going to eventually do with this heel Edge character. So I'm going to go with Edge for the dub.
I agree with some of that. I think that, the storyline has not been too strong, but I also think this is like the beginning of like a trilogy between these two. And
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
And I think it's going to end in Hell in a Cell at that. Because that's in a couple months, right?
Yeah.
There's WrestleMania Backlash, and then there's Hell in a Cell. I think that's the right match to do it,
Wow.
Edge and AJ, like, they could kill it.
Has AJ done a Hell in a Cell match since being in WWE?
I don't think so.
No,
I can't think of one.
I don't think so. Not unless it happened at one of those Saudi shows I didn't watch, but...
Nah.
You might be onto something, Valen. Honestly, that right there,
that could be cool.
I'd be okay. Like I said, this is a 50-50 way. Like, you could go either way with it, and I'll be happy. But if you have Edge win, and then you have like Hell in a Cell trilogy, bro, I'm down for that. That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be really
I feel
cool.
like
I mean,
Edge is gonna win by cheating, maybe kicking AJ Styles in the balls because everyone does that to him at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Nakamura gimmick.
That's his gimmick. That's what happens. And then AJ's like, I want a rematch with no disqualification. Then he wins a WrestleMania Backlash, and then they take a step further and say Hell in a Cell, blah blah blah.
That should be the build to like a Brock Lesnar AJ Styles match down the line. Like, their weakness is just both of them like getting kicked in the balls. Like, it's amazing.
Dude.
Real quick.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the red Hell in a Cell? I kind of hope if like they get rid of that at some point. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that.
I mean, I'm not a fan, but I kind of got used to it. I'm just like, whatever at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but kind of corny. But it's whatever.
It's really distracting for me. I don't know.
I definitely like the silver one. Yeah, that's way better. But
It's WWE's marketing team being really smart and making money off their toys and stuff like that. I think that's the reason why I think they did it. One thing I will say, the red Hell in the Cell was bad, but nothing was worse than the Fiend Bray Wyatt wrestling with the red lights on. So
Red lights in pro wrestling should not happen. It happened. Bad things happen. You had that Mania match with Orton. You had that Hell in a Cell match with Seth Rollins and the Fiend, and you had that god awful finish to Extreme Rules 2021. Red lights should be banned from WWE. It's so bad.
But I liked it. I thought it made him unique, it made him stand out, and it made Bray Wyatt have like some sort of mystique and aura around him. I kind of liked it.
Kept losing though.
yeah,
Well, that's because WWE is stupid with it. Bray Wyatt is, I'm going to go ahead and say it, I think is the most underutilized wrestler of all time in WWE. Like, they
100%.
wasted this man's entire career.
I agree.
He literally could have been a top 3 wrestler right now in the company. I don't know how they messed it up.
100%. I do agree with that.
One of the greatest characters ever wasted.
I do.
How you mess up the Fiend? Like,
I do agree with that. I don't disagree. So it seems like we all had different answers, right? So I said AJ Styles wins. Both of you said Edge, right?
Yeah.
Wow, you guys.
I think you're the only one disagreeing with us this whole prediction.
It seems like
all you.
Yeah, here like LA Knight's gonna debut and like all this stuff. I'm like, okay,
dude. If anybody knows,
just going, what's the most obscure thing I can think about?
100%. If it sounds legit, if I could present it in a way that sounds somewhat legit and it happens, don't I look like the wrestling creative god?
It's like you ever seen that episode of South Park where they cut the chicken's head off and he's like running around on like a board that has a bunch of different outcomes?
Do you think I have time to watch South Park? Do you understand that there's wrestling from Monday to Sunday every single day, and I'm covering it here on the Ango Show 7 days a week? If you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, drop a super chat, become a member, do what you gotta do. By the way, you can check out Real Take Sports, Real Take Wrestling, and my boy Plana Productions. Yeah, very cool stuff. Enough of the plugs. We got one more match for WrestleMania. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. So SmackDown is tomorrow. I hope WWE puts a stipulation in this match. It needs it. I want to see no holds barred. Something to go for this match. I'll be completely honest with you guys. I don't think this is the least predictable match. There's no way you have Lesnar win. You have Roman Reigns end the show. I want to see Roman Reigns' entrance. I can't remember which one of you said the Bloodline standing tall with all their belts, but that would be the picture for WrestleMania to cap off the show. God mode, Roman Reigns. Even though I cover a lot of AEW and Impact, there has not been one thing on wrestling television in the last 2 years, by the way, that has kept my attention like Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and the Usos. So there's nothing that appeared bigger, and I don't think it's time to end that just yet. Roman Reigns is the greatest wrestling champion in modern history, and I want to keep it going. I think you have the Bloodline stand tall, and just as the show's about to go off the air, The Rock comes out face-to-face. WrestleMania 39, 1 year in the making.
Oh.
Simple as that. It's the biggest thing you can do. You never want to end the show with the heel. So what you do is you have the babyface come out. Obviously, The Rock in Dallas. You do it. There's no way. You want to send the crowd happy.
I think you have 2 nights of WrestleMania, and like they did it last year, right? Where they sent the crowd home happy with Bianca Belair winning night 1, and then Roman Reigns won night 2. Which honestly, I don't even think this year would leave a bad taste in people's mouth. People wouldn't be unhappy with that. I think the Rock thing is interesting, right? But there's more value right now in just Roman Reigns having that moment after, what has it been now? Like 7 years of him trying to beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. This has been almost a storyline that WWE's kind of inadvertently booked their way into, of this Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar thing at Mania being such a big deal, because it's the one thing that Roman Reigns really hasn't done. He's won Royal Rumbles. He's been in the main event. He's won a main event of WrestleMania, but he has never beaten Brock Lesnar at Mania. It's time for him to get over that hump. While I would like to see that Rock thing like that you talked about, I think they can hold off on that. They can hold off on that. Do that any other time. I think let Roman have that moment. Let him be the tribal chief. And real quick on that stipulation thing that you mentioned on this match should probably have a stipulation. I would love to see kind of like a little bit of a callback to I think it was X7, when no, they didn't even talk about it. They just announced at the beginning of the match that Stone Cold versus The Rock was a no DQ match. I would like to see that actually. They just get to the main event, and whoever the ring announcer is just says, and this match is for the Unified Championship. It will be held in no disqualifications or whatever, right? I think that would be a kind of a cool surprise for the fans in what is going to be a very predictable match, and that would kind of put a cool little twist on it.
Yeah. What about you, Valen? What are you thinking?
I want to ask you guys first.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is the biggest WrestleMania match since John Cena versus The Rock?
Yes.
Main event.
This is bigger, by the way.
You think it's bigger?
100%. There's nothing. There's nobody that could convince me otherwise.
In what way? In what way?
Are you
As
asking
far
me?
as star power?
As far as ever, overall, you know how so many people tuned into WrestleMania 28 for Johnson versus The Rock?
Mhm.
You think that more people are going to want to tune in for this?
Yes.
That's interesting. I was
more
just
people are
curious.
doing for this,
Yes.
probably. Yeah.
100%. They've already made their media rounds. Roman Reigns on Jimmy Fallon is drawing millions of viewers already. Roman Reigns, by the way, he hasn't been pinned since 2019. I could be wrong. Somebody could fact check me in the chat. But Roman
Bryan
Reigns,
Danielson technically made him tap out.
I said pinned. I didn't say tap out, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Geez, stop being so technical, dude.
I don't think he tapped him out. The referee was down or something, no?
I can't remember.
Yeah, the ref was down, and it was like
Oh.
it was like a little like he was tapping out, but it was
Yes.
like on Brian's arm. It was actually really good.
Yes,
It was,
I
like,
do
one of the
remember that.
Really good piece of storytelling. But
Valen, I see what you're trying to go with here, and I don't disagree entirely, but I mean, Roman Reigns is the biggest star in pro wrestling. Like
Right now, yeah.
that's just the realist. That's the truth, and I'm gonna just say this right because we're live. Why not? Adam Cole, Hangman Page, Moose, right? None of those guys appear bigger than Roman Reigns. Kenny Omega didn't appear bigger than Roman Reigns. When it comes to the last 2 years, when it comes to world champions in pro wrestling, Roman Reigns is the guy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no comparison. There's no question. And one thing I do want to mention is predictable is not always bad. So this match, to me, seems very predictable. If you have Lesnar beat Roman Reigns, I think somebody backstage is doing drugs and like somebody ain't paying attention because I think people want to see Roman Reigns. And I think, I think what trumps Lesnar and Reigns is Rock versus Roman. It's years in the making. There's callbacks to obviously the Royal Rumble stuff. This is the way to do it. You can't fuck this up if you're WWE. Roman Reigns wins. Roman Reigns is bigger than John Cena and The Rock, 100%. And Roman Reigns and The Rock is a feud for 1 year in the making, by the way. Roman Reigns doesn't need The Rock on TV every week because Roman Reigns has already proven he is the ratings draw, by the way.
Yeah, I think that Roman and The Rock would be the biggest wrestling match of all
For
time.
sure. But you don't get there.
Especially where The Rock's at right now.
You can't get there without Roman beating Lesnar. So 100%. I see some people in the chat. Just quick note, people in the chat are saying Kenny was number 1 on PWI, blah, 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 blah. PWI, Dave Meltzer, this person, that person could say whatever they want. But when it comes to overall product and presentation and everything that comes with it, ratings, merchandise, presentation, the whole nine, Roman Reigns is number 1. There's not one person that even comes close to it.
yeah,
There's not one person.
I'll even say this as a huge AEW fan. Like, Roman Reigns is the biggest draw in wrestling. It's like that's not even a question. I mean, you don't have to say he's the best wrestler because you can make the argument. They can definitely make the argument that they're better wrestlers. But,
of course.
But the biggest draw is Roman Reigns. He is the guy. They acknowledge him. He is the tribal chief. There's the presence that Roman Reigns has, from his entrance to his music, which is spot on, the biggest Final Boss music I've ever heard in my life, to Paul Heyman, the entire presentation. It feels huge. And then you get in the ring, and he's a certified ass kicker, and he does exactly what he says he's going to do. He shows up, he beats people, he holds up his title, and he leaves. It is actually the best thing that WWE has done in
Ever.
years.
I say ever.
And like, okay,
Oh,
that's
man.
fine. That's fine. I'm taking a very sensible road, saying in years, but it's the biggest thing they've done in years, and it's actually still long overdue. They should have done this like 7 years ago, but
Yeah.
okay, they got to it.
Exactly what Vince McMahon wanted out of Roman Reigns, and he got it. But I do think that Roman Reigns is going to win.
Yeah.
I like the idea of The Rock coming in and setting up that big WrestleMania 39 match, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't see The Rock wrestling with all the other obligations and the duties he has. Plus, him getting injured at WrestleMania 29 is not good because, like, now it shows, like, oh, you get injured and everyone else is set back 6 weeks now for set, you know?
There's a
So
lot of
I don't
risks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of risks, but I think they
Vince
do it.
McMahon needs to pay this man like $10 million to have that one match. And I
Do
think
it.
it's worth it.
Got that
My dude
that
just
Saudi
made a
money.
bill,
He'll
bro.
do it, man.
My dude literally just made $1 billion last year. He can
Yeah,
do
I
it.
think cutting every wrestler.
That helped.
Yeah.
That definitely
Can't say
helped.
that.
That definitely
Cutting
helped.
every wrestler was worth it for the
Nick
Rock
Khan
to
will
wrestle.
make that budget work. I promise you. He'll make the budget for The Rock work.
By the
Yeah.
way, just
I mean-
something a lot of people don't realize is that WWE has a deal with Dave & Buster's nationally. So all the premium live events will now air at Dave & Buster's locations. So this will be a really big test to see how big WWE is outside of the WWE bubble, right? Will people start coming together at like Dave & Buster's or these movie theaters to go watch Roman Reigns and The Rock or Lesnar and this person or that person? You know what I mean? Like, this is a very telling time for WWE because this is a time I think WWE could start winning back the casual audience, by the way.
No, I think that they have been, because even my friends who stopped watching for like 4 or 5 years now, they're interested in watching WrestleMania because they hear about like Logan Paul, John Knoxville, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, and all these other guys. They're like, oh, you guys want to watch it this weekend? And like, these guys haven't watched wrestling in years.
Then this is the perfect card to win them back, by the way. Because every match that we talked about Riddle and Randy Orton. We talked about Street Profits and all these different guys. We've talked about, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens and
Steve Austin.
Yeah, Steve Austin, Cody Rhodes, and Seth Rollins. Your friends who are casuals will very well watch this. Maybe they're fond of the build-up, maybe they're not, but I think this card will end up delivering an experience that says, hey, you should start watching WWE again. And the last time
But that's the thing. They don't even watch it on a weekly basis. They just want to watch the show, and that's it. And maybe that's why WrestleMania doesn't have good build-ups. Maybe Vince understands that, and he's like, I don't even care.
I'll tell you guys this. Those promo packages are going to make all of these matches and all the storylines leading up to these matches look
for sure
50 times better than they are. Like, that's one thing WWE is really good at. It's like the production on those video packages. They always make it look so much better than they actually are.
Well, I think people forget too, WrestleMania, because wrestling fans, they think they have it all figured out. But WrestleMania is not for a hardcore fan. WrestleMania is always about putting on a show for the casual viewer. And I do know a lot of people who only tune into WrestleMania. In fact, I have friends, we were talking about it at a Super Bowl party, and I told them, I said, yeah, so this year, WrestleMania is going to be 2 nights. There's a whole bunch of other shows. And I showed them all of these different shows, right? I talked about Supercard of Honor. I talked to them about, Impact and GCW and everything. When I show them the flyers and I show them these things, right, and I talk to them about who is in what company, they don't know any of these other guys. They only know the guys in WWE. So this is a situation where WWE has already achieved the dream. This is not about Tope Suicidas. This is not about Canadian Destroyers 20 times in a match. This is about, hey, we are going to have the WWE stamp all over this product, and people are going to love it because it's WWE. And that's it. WWE sells the brand, and these hardcore wrestling fans could sit here and talk about how the build-up sucks, but, and I could tell you guys this as somebody who covers AEW and indies and everything. I have a lot of people who watch my stuff, and they say, we don't watch WWE. We're never watching WWE. Well, if you want WWE to fail so bad, cancel your subscriptions. Don't buy their products. Don't watch their shows. Don't buy their merchandise. Don't talk about it, because the more that you talk about it, the more that you invest your money into it, they're succeeding. If you want to see a noticeable difference with WWE, it comes from a money and financial aspect. And WWE has become so big that it doesn't matter about the build-up. It doesn't matter that Logan Paul is wrestling. For WWE, they benefit from Logan Paul wrestling, And what, Logan Paul wasn't wrestling in the armory? He wasn't wrestling in the high school gym? Like, this has come full circle now. WWE's WrestleMania is so big. Your friends who are tuning in for the first time in years, your friends who are tuning in to WrestleMania specifically, they will walk out enjoying this show because they're not personally invested in the characters and the wrestlers, right? They're not personally invested in the upbringing of, Sami Zayn. Oh, he was El Generico. They don't think that way. Oh, we want to see El Generico win because we know how much hard work he put in. No, they're going to watch this show. They're going to see Sami Zayn, and they're probably going to be entertained between him and Johnny Knoxville. And then, okay, they'll go on with their life, and next time they'll watch it. You know what I mean? I think it's very simple. WWE has the formula. It makes them $1 billion. I don't enjoy WWE at all times, but I already know, as underwhelming as this card looks, this is probably going to be a really good WrestleMania. I really do feel that way.
No, yeah, I agree. And I think that what you were saying about the hardcore fans, stuff like that, and how I have casual friends or whatever,
Yeah.
I think that is the real reason for all the releases. I honestly don't think it had – I mean, it definitely had somewhat to do with budget cuts, But the main reason that I believe that WWE released all those wrestlers that like slapped their legs and all those guys who were in NXT and stuff or in the Indies was simply to get rid of that audience away from WWE.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I think.
100%.
That's my theory.
I could see that. And hey, here's the thing: if you want that stuff, the cool thing is there's other companies that do it.
AEW signed all of them.
You have that option. And the funny thing is, I think that's why people are so weird. They're like, Ango, it's such a gimmick that you have. How can you say that you love all these wrestling shows? Like, you're just you're a liar. The funny thing is, like, I know people hate the 24/7 championship, but there is something to me, not always, but sometimes it is absolutely funny to see what they do, right? So I look at these things and I see there's a huge opportunity for WWE to tell the story and do the stupid stuff and the gimmicky stuff. But by the way, where was I? I was ranting for 3 hours about Ricochet losing on television to Austin Theory, because that to me is bullshit, you know? So I will call out WWE, but WWE has their formula, and if you expect WWE to change, you're an idiot. WWE does not have to change just because people on Twitter with 5 followers say WWE sucks, right? Just because AEW fan 31567 says, hey, WWE sucks. You think Vince McMahon cares? He's laughing his way to the bank, bro. Literally, he goes on Pat McAfee show and he says WrestleMania is stupendous. Why? He's like, you have to look up the word. To be honest, I don't understand one damn reason for him calling WrestleMania stupendous, right? I even said, I made a video. I made a video the other day. I was like, how can you say it's stupendous, but your mid-card champions aren't even on the card? It's stupid, right? And
It's stupid.
there's things I don't like about it, but at the end of the day, I feel like I'm going to enjoy WrestleMania. And the best part is WrestleMania is going to be great. There's going to be some things I don't care about, but guess what, man? I'm going to sit there, enjoy my food, eat my food, and I'll cover it. Obviously, it's my job to cover it. When I have to use the restroom, I'll use the restroom. I won't feel bad for using the restroom. I'm just going to enjoy the show. And by the way, I think a lot of people are forgetting, we just had 2 years of COVID, shutdowns, restrictions, can't travel, can't do this. You have to stay in your house. And we survived the COVID wrestling era, which was the worst wrestling era of all time, okay? Maybe I just want to feel like a fan for 2 nights and just try to enjoy it without being overly negative or overly analytical. And that's why I think WrestleMania is going to be a banger. And I can't wait. I can't wait for the Bloodline. I can't wait for Cody Rhodes. I can't wait for Seth Rollins. And then, by the way, I'll watch Raw, and if it sucks, if Raw and SmackDown sucks, whatever. I continue with my day. The good thing is I got AEW on Wednesdays. I got Impact on Thursdays. I got NXT on Tuesdays. There's a lot of good shit happening in wrestling. Rant over.
And honestly, first of all, clip all of that for the Ango Show clips. Like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. But no, seriously. I mean, to me, any like disgruntled fans out there, like legitimately, like I've done this. I think I did this up until like maybe a few weeks ago. I stopped watching like Raw and SmackDown, like, because like, look, it's a lot of time investment sometimes, and the product isn't really good. At least it's not for me, right?
Yep.
I understood that. But one thing, if you do this, like, trust me, try this, guys. If you don't like WWE, just watch the pay-per-views. Just watch the pay-per-views. They're going to tell you everything you need to know day of the pay-per-view. Like I said, their promo packages, their build-up, they give all the exposition all the time. It will be significantly less annoying to you. And on top of that, you'll actually get to see some kick-ass wrestling, because a lot of times the pay-per-views are really, really good. The wrestling is really good. And they're I know, like, for me, the biggest problem is that week-to-week television thing. Like, it's not great, right, all the time. But yeah, again, my thing is, it's one thing to like critique it, and it's another thing to kind of go over the line, which I don't like to see that type of stuff where people are like, I want WWE to fail. Okay, just don't watch. It's as easy as that, right? If you don't like it, don't watch. I never got the mentality from people who are like, oh, WWE is going to go out of business. They're never going to fucking go out of business. It's the Fed. Like, they are an institution. They are as what's the old saying, American as apple pie or whatever, right? Like, the WWE is not going anywhere anytime soon. But it's just, so don't waste your energy into hoping that it fails. Don't waste your energy into that, because look, at the end of the day, WWE, like, say what you want, it's still putting out some good wrestling. It's just not necessarily putting out good storylines all the time, but got to deal with it, like, or choose not to.
One
or the
thing
other.
I will say too to add to that, because again, it comes down to money. So like for WWE, they're making money. They're making more money. So we can sit here and overanalyze everything WWE does, and we can criticize it, and that's fun. I think it makes for good conversation. But until they start losing money, bro, they ain't changing. And by the way, I will say this because I've seen the comments and I see some people in the chat talking about this. We can talk about how we don't like Logan Paul in WWE, but if that's the case, then the same needs to apply for Shaquille O'Neal coming to AEW. The same applies to a variety of superstars. Snoop Dogg, who, by the way, doesn't wrestle and did a ugly-ass splash off the top rope. We got to criticize it all.
Amazing splash. That was an amazing moment in time. Snoop Dogg doing
I'm just saying. I like celebrities in wrestling. So, just get used to it. WrestleMania was never for the guys, the indie wrestlers. And by the way, there is a lot of people that came from the indies that are on this card. So just food for thought. It should be just something notable. Like these matches will be fire. Edge and AJ should be fire. There's going to be a lot of good stuff on this card, but yeah.
Moral of the story, everyone. It's not that deep.
It's not that deep, bro. I just want to sit down, eat some Cheez-Its, maybe, I don't know.
Jesus, that sounds horrendous.
Yeah. What is
It's
the
right.
perfect
Sponsor actually buy
WrestleMania snack?
Cheez-It.
Dude, I don't know. I'm just craving Cheez-Its, bro. It's 12:30 in the morning.
Snickers.
You're not you when you're hungry.
Bell. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna get Taco Bell soon.
Oh shit.
Oh, dude, Taco Bell. Like,
I don't eat
ooh,
fast
that
food
was-
anymore,
that's
bro.
a
I haven't
vibe.
eaten fast food.
I
in
don't
months.
eat fast food either, but let me tell you what happened. I was at the gym and I played basketball for like 5 hours, and we've been doing this for 2 hours. So like Taco Bell is the only thing on my mind. Like all my mind is Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, Taco Bell. That's it.
Beautiful.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you guys this right now. Taco Bell is the one fast food that I can eat. Like when I'm craving it, I will never feel bad about it. Because sometimes you'll eat McDonald's and you'll feel like immediately like shit about it.
Yeah.
But then like Taco Bell, I don't know, it hits different, man. Taco Bell is like,
Just
I know it's like
WWE
paste.
22.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Jeez.
oh man.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, they didn't pay for that ad spot, so let's not talk about that. But overall, we are going to talk a little bit about Supercard of Honor. I know Valen, I unless you change your mind or something didn't come up, plans change.
I don't know. No, it's like I literally just don't know the card. I mean, I know like some of the people, but I don't know the other half, and it's just like I
Yeah.
don't know anything.
No,
about
it's all good. Any final thoughts that you want to add to WrestleMania?
WrestleMania is one of those shows that is going to be high key trash and good at the same time.
Yes.
So I'm going to be excited for it.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know what to expect. Part of me is like this is going to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time. Another part's like this is the worst WrestleMania, and we're just going to see whatever happens. I'm expecting. I'm going to have fun. That's it. Because nowadays with wrestling, I don't care too much. Like when Brock Lesnar destroyed everyone at the Elimination Chamber, I was loving it. That shit was funny.
Dude, I got so much heat. I got so much heat. They're like, how could you say you love AEW and then enjoy this shit? And it's like, bro, literally, let me just love what I fucking love to watch. Holy shit.
It was so fun seeing him just dominate and that is great because now it makes him feel like a force that's so crazy that Roman Reigns can't take down. You know what I mean? Like, I love that. It was great booking. But outside of that, just not booking, like I was enjoying it and laughing my ass off because it was like, damn, I could believe Brock Lesnar could destroy all these guys. He F5 Austin Theory off the top of the chamber pod.
Yeah, that was
I was
nutty.
like, I don't know, man. That in the Royal Rumble when he came, I was like, I know it's gonna be Brock Lesnar, but I don't care. This guy was face to face with Bad Bunny. Like, what is happening? I don't know. I'm loving it though, and I swear, the minute you stop caring too much and like fantasy, like you can fantasy book, but it gets to a point where I think a lot of the people in IWC, the hardcore wrestling fans, get to a point where if it doesn't align with exactly what they want, they just shit on it and hate everything about it. If you can get to a point where you can distinguish that you're not creating the show and whatever they're putting on is like just fun, you'll have a good time. So I think I'm gonna have a good time this weekend.
That right there is the most beautiful thing I've heard because it aligns with everything I've said before. And one thing I've mentioned on my shows is that you got to learn how to be a fan again. Like, I love the insider stuff because obviously I cover it for a living. It's literally what I do for a living. I love providing analysis. But the one thing I started doing was I log off Twitter, I log off Discord, I log off YouTube, and I watch Raw, NXT, SmackDown, AEW, and Impact. And When I put on my thinking cap and I overanalyze things, it's fun. But when I don't do it, I enjoy it just as much. And the reason why is because you just got to remember, bro, the world is depressing. There's a lot of things that are happening in this world where, you know, sometimes you need an escape. And for me, my escape is sports and pro wrestling. And yes, do I think it is absolutely ridiculous that Ricochet is not on the WrestleMania card? 100% I do. Do I understand why he's not? As of right now, I do understand why. It's the WWE way of doing things. The brand is bigger than a championship. But does that mean I'm going to boycott the show? Nah, man. I fucking can't wait for WrestleMania. Why? Because I'm going to sit down, eat my Cheez-Its, and I want to be live tweeting it like a crazy motherfucker.
Hey, man. Say what you want. Ricochet is competing for that very prestigious Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal trophy. Everyone who's won that trophy, everyone who's won that trophy has gone on to do amazing things outside of wrestling.
Oh, don't give me that bullshit. All right. Valen, anything else that you want to say before we switch to
Now he's
Supercard?
ribbing you.
Yeah, he's ribbing me.
I think that's everything.
Plana
But-
Productions, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen his channel, I don't know how the hell you haven't. He is literally one of the bigger YouTube channels with wrestling. Valen, thank you for joining us. I do appreciate that. We are going to talk a little bit about Supercard of Honor. I got some hot takes for this one. If you guys haven't subscribed to Valen, make sure you guys do that. A lot of great content on there. And by the way, your last What If video, I don't know if I told you this, but it was absolutely incredible fantasy booking. It was very fun and enjoyable. So I'll make sure I'll put that link in the description. I want everybody to see it. You're just such a creative mind. It's always fun talking wrestling with you, brother. Thank you for joining. And we'll transition to Supercard of Honor, huh?
Thank you for having me on the Ango Show, and it was great talking to you guys. And good luck with your predictions for Ring of Honor.
Oh, trust me, we need them.
You guys are gonna be up until like 2 a.m.
No, this is small card. It's like an indie show.
Supercard, I'll have you know.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Valen.
Take it
See you, brother. All right, guys. So we are transitioning to Supercard of Honor. Wow. Supercard of Honor. We are less than $3 to goal, by the way. I saw that Zachary left a $4.99 super chat. So before we go to Supercard of Honor, I just wanted to bring this up. Zachary says, either way, we won't lose any money because the pay-per-view is for $3 as Peacock gives it for free. Either way, you have nothing to lose by watching Mania. Oh, I know. That's another thing people forget about WWE. WWE, the value with the Peacock deal is just so massive. Plus, you get all those other movies and stuff. I mean, I never feel ripped off, by the way. I know some people say they're going to cancel the WWE network. They never really do. But yeah, just a really good point. Thank you, Zachary, for your super chat. Omer, you ready?
Let's go for it, man. Supercard of Honor 15, baby.
Oh my God, this is crazy. So Tony Khan came out with some announcements today. We don't know every announcement. We don't know every match on the card, but we do know a couple things have been announced. So before we go into the card, some of the announcements that people may have missed today, we know that Chavo Guerrero will be at Supercard of Honor, and he will actually be managing Bandito, which is interesting. So Tony Khan finally answered his phone call and started talking to Chavo. So we do know that Chavo Guerrero has been announced for Supercard of Honor. Plus, we know the TV championship belt is now on the line. So we'll actually start off with this. Very, very interesting decision. Tony Khan has announced that Rhett Titus will defend the television championship belt against Minoru Suzuki. And wow, that's a random announcement.
It's an awesome announcement too, because that's gonna be a kick-ass match.
Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Minoru Suzuki has not held a championship belt that was held on North American television. Like,
Definitely not on this run. I'm not sure about beforehand, but he's been doing a lot of jobbing as of late.
yeah. So so this is tough, right? Supercard of Honor, there's not really a build to this pay-per-view, unfortunately. I mean, look, Rhett Titus, to me, I like him. Obviously, he's been in ROH for a long time. He worked his ass off to obviously get the opportunity to be the TV champion. He finally got it. Do you have him beat Minoru Suzuki? I don't know. We don't know what the future holds for ROH, and I felt like the TV championship belt should actually be retired. I don't think they should have a mid-card belt right now. I think they should just have a world championship, women's championship, and tag team championship. They obviously have this in the pure title. I think some things have to change. Surprisingly, I mean, I just don't see how Minoru Suzuki is going to be the TV champion. I don't know, like, if they have plans for him to actually stay in the States, which is tough. Somehow, some way, I think Rhett Titus wins this match. I could be wrong. I don't know how they're going to pull this off. I feel like this is such a weird booking decision, but
yeah, I see. For me, it's like I'm thinking less so logically with this one. I'm thinking more so as just kind of like just a cool moment and just something that's kind of like, I think, overdue.
Yeah.
I think at some point someone's got to give Minoru Suzuki a win, man. I like. He's really good. Now look, this is like the Ring of Honor's return. Like they're in like the Dallas area-ish for WrestleMania weekend. There's going to be a lot of hardcore fans who are going to be singing along to Kaze Ninare when he comes out. And look, I think there's very little harm in giving Minoru Suzuki a win here. Like, and look, we know that Ring of Honor doesn't have TV or whatever. We don't know what really their future is. I think Tony Khan hinted that there's something in the works to have Ring of Honor like on some platform. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but you can get away with Minoru Suzuki getting a win here, and you just like the pop is going to be amazing because people like Minoru Suzuki, like especially a lot of hardcore fans like myself. We love Minoru Suzuki, and I think it would just be cool to see him like get that title win in North American soil, kind of like you said. And you can have him lose. You can have like eventually a unification match with the pure title, which actually is probably necessary at this point. With whoever wins that match between Wheeler Yuta and Josh Woods. But I'm gonna go with Minoru Suzuki because why the hell not?
So there's two scenarios I just thought of while you were talking too. So I watched Bloodsport today, and it was Minoru Suzuki versus Chris Dickinson. And that was a whole weird thing that happened. Chris won. Minoru Suzuki got pissed. He just started flipping everybody off. I'm sorry, not yeah. Like it was just weird. He was throwing the chairs, a whole bunch of bullshit. Right? Chris Dickinson got booed as a heel. I could see a very interesting scenario where maybe AEW, Tony Khan, ROH brings him in to cost Minoru Suzuki the match here. I don't know. Like that could be a possibility if you want to play off of what happened in the Indies. A second thing too. This is a transitional show. We don't know what's going to be happening when ROH goes onto a weekly television show. Let's just say I'm correct and Minoru Suzuki has yet to win a championship in the U.S. That's on a televised product. If that is the case, you can have Minoru Suzuki win this championship belt and then retire the championship belt. That could always be a possibility. This is definitely going to be the more fantasy bookie type of segment on the show, right? Because we don't know what the hell the future looks like. So literally anything and everything is on the table. There's nothing off limits. So technically Minoru Suzuki could win and then just retire the belt. Rhett Titus could technically win and retire the belt. To me, there's no signs that indicate to me Minoru Suzuki will be staying in ROH. And by the way, if ROH is actually a developmental product, how the hell do you have Minoru Suzuki on developmental? That would be such a slap in the frickin' face.
I mean, how do you have Dolph Ziggler on development?
There's
it's
a
fitting in the moment.
There's a difference.
No, I understand that. No, I was kind of being cheeky there.
Yeah.
But no, in all seriousness, I mean, look, this, in the words of JBL, this is gonna be one of those things that's just fun to watch, right? Because it's gonna be a little bit of spectacle here. And look, AEW's done the thing where they've defended other organizations' title belts on their TV show. Like they can find a way to like get the belt off of Minoru Suzuki like on a random Dynamite show, right? Like there's ways around it. I do agree with you. If the plan is for Minoru Suzuki to be the champion going into a young like a rebrand of Ring of Honor on TV, I would be wary of it unless like he just comes in and immediately puts someone young over. Then I think it would be worth it. But I'm not as down on Minoru Suzuki winning here because like you said, we don't know what's gonna happen. So and I kind of like am at the point where I want to kind of just see how it plays out, and I think it would be interesting to see what they would do with Minoru Suzuki.
One thing too, because you did mention like a title unification situation. So I love the idea of Josh Woods versus Minoru Suzuki with pure rules. By the way, that would be like,
oh my God,
to me that just screams money. But we don't have weekly television, so I don't know. I don't want to see the ROH belts defended on AEW because it's already bad enough with AEW's roster being bloated and like people not getting TV time. You know, it's not fair for the AEW roster to be impacted by Tony Khan trying to tell a story for ROH. When ROH has their weekly television show, they can do their thing. You know, they don't need to incorporate ROH on Dynamite because it's taking away time from everybody else. This is literally 50-50. I don't know what they can do here, but I'm super excited for Minoru Suzuki. This match will probably be fire. Crazy last minute decision too, right? Like they literally just announced this today. No storytelling up to this point. Like this is a very strange card for Tony Khan, but I'm very proud of.
This is gonna be a fun card though. It's like all these matches though. You're listing it off, and you're just like, man, these are gonna be some cool matches, potentially some cool moments and cool debuts. Like, who knows? You
never know. So yeah, I mean, look, literally 50-50. I think we're both split on this. It could end either way. But ideally, I do like the idea of Josh Woods versus Minoru Suzuki title unification. You could do that on the first episode. Josh Woods, by the way, has been on AEW Dark, so it's not like Tony Khan's unfamiliar with him. So, you can move the ROH stuff to its own television show on the very first episode, title unification. You could drop the world television title, keep the ROH pure title. You could do either or. It would be a good idea. Moving on, we have Josh Woods versus Wheeler Yuta for the ROH Pure Title Championship belt. This to me, like sleeper match, bro. I don't know how else to explain this. Like literally, I've become a huge fan of Wheeler Yuta. I've seen his work in the Indies. Now he's getting some shine on AEW.
That match he had with Bryan was just out of this world.
And I'm not saying Josh Woods is on the level of Bryan, but what I'm saying is the style here, like seeing Bryan versus Yuta tells me there's a very intriguing style. This is a match, again, it's a sleeper match. I actually have Josh Woods winning this match. 1,000%. I have a couple ideas of some surprises that you can do, which I'll talk about later on after we go through the card. But I do think Josh Woods winning this match would make the most sense, and I think Tony Khan makes it official that he'll be part of ROH. So this for sure will actually lead to an announcement that Josh Woods will be with the company moving forward.
This is interesting because I find myself in, I feel like the position you were in for a WrestleMania preview, where I'm just kind of going with the most unpredictable outcome, and the one that has a lot more varying routes. I'm going with Wheeler Yuta.
Wow.
Because I think that at least for me, there's a lot of, again, I think the goal eventually is going to be to like somehow unify or get rid of the pure and the television title. Yeah. But I think there is some value in Wheeler Yuta for his story specifically, off of a big time match that he lost against Bryan Danielson, and in the middle of the story with William Regal and the Blackpool Combat Club, that Wheeler Yuta gets a win, a substantial win, and a title, and as a way to maybe prove to William Regal that he is in fact worthy, of being an official member of the Blackpool Combat Club or allied with him in some way. And there's ways you could do, like, you could do a thing where maybe William Regal is, where Wheeler Yuta is like kind of being built up in ROH under William Regal's like mentor. I think there's a lot of interesting ways you could go about it with Wheeler Yuta. Josh Woods is an exceptional wrestler. I'm not trying to downplay that, but I think just Wheeler Yuta, man, he's just. I'm also a fan. I'm a fan of Wheeler Yuta. I have been for a long time. Yep. I wish AEW did a little more referencing to all the times Wheeler Yuta would kind of be ignored by Trent and the best friends, because I feel like they did that they did that so many times where they just kind of like overlooked him, but they never really reference it on TV now. And I'm just like, that's such a right there, But I mean, build up Wheeler Yuta in my opinion, but either way, it's gonna be a kick-ass match.
Yeah, no, I agree. One thing too, if you want to play fantasy booker for a second, because that's really the point of these shows, and we've definitely had some really cool predictions today, especially with Plana Productions. But one thing that would really intrigue me, and I don't know what they're doing with the ROH Hall of Fame and whatnot. It doesn't sound like Tony Khan's really been talking about it, but we know that not John Moxley, we know Bryan Danielson is going into the Hall of Fame, right? Now, you got William Regal. What if because it's a pay-per-view, you don't want to give off everything, right? But what if you had like William Regal or Bryan Danielson sitting together in the crowd and the camera pans to them and they're just taking notes on Wheeler Yuta? Like, imagine what that would do for Wheeler Yuta's career going into Dynamite on Wednesday. Even if Wheeler Yuta loses, looking good in defeat, or even if he wins, right? You have William Regal and Bryan Danielson. Look, forget about AEW for a second because this is an ROH show. If Tony Khan wants me to care about these guys, who, by the way, there's going to be a lot of people tuning into this without really knowing who Josh Woods is, right? There's going to be a percentage of people who just aren't aware. If you're trying to put over any of these guys, wouldn't you want to tell the story with Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley and William Regal and do it very subtly? Like, it could be very subtle. Just somebody sitting in the crowd, taking notes, trying to recruit, plan things up, and you don't have to do anything just yet. You could still tell the story of them recruiting. And then you mentioned the mentorship on television for ROH. There's a future there for both of these guys. And I think the best thing to do is you definitely want to have some surprise elements. Bryan Danielson, William Regal, it could be a very cool thing. There's no reason why Wheeler Yuta should win this belt and then bring it to Dynamite, because this belt is an ROH title belt. And I know AEW is very cool with bringing other title belts on their show, but I really, really want them to keep it separate for right now. You don't see the NXT Championship really show up on WWE Raw or SmackDown. You know what I mean? You don't see the North American
Karrion Kross will tell you differently, buddy.
Yeah, Karrion Kross, and you saw Dolph Ziggler and Braun Breaker do it a little bit here and there, but it's not.
Yeah, Kevin Owens did it. So my gauge for wrestling, right, generally with these types of things specifically, is you'll know in the moment if it works, then you'll be fine with it, and if it doesn't, you won't be, right?
Yeah.
I think this is one of those things. Like, it depends how it comes off and and all that. But the more you've talked, though, the more I'm kind of interested in this potential idea where it's just William Regal at ringside.
Yeah. And
Wheeler Yuta like loses in a barn burner. And William Regal kind of just like maybe like comes into the ring, just gives him like a little bit of a like, okay, I see the potential in you, and I'm going to be the one to help you reach your full potential and actually become a winner.
I mean, they could do a thing. I think they could do something where Wheeler Yuta loses and William Regal just slaps the shit out of him. And then find out more.
I love that.
Find out more on
Best gimmick
Dynamite
in wrestling right now.
I love it.
I loved it when Cena and Bryan had that storyline where they were just slapping the shit out of each other, and I love that they kind of brought that back. It's amazing.
It's what a beautiful story that they can tell. I think Josh Woods wins this match, but again, it's like the Rhett Titus versus Minoru Suzuki. Literally, you can't go wrong with either or. I'm excited about it. I think. Either way, I don't think I could be disappointed, honestly. We just got a super chat. So Myra just dropped a $20 super chat. She says, I remember something you mentioned last night, Ango, but what if Yuta loses and Danielson and Regal interaction shows some type of tough love beating, but walk out with ongoing storytelling and it's not over? I mean, look, it's kind of like what I was just saying, right? Like, there has to be some sort of involvement. We talked about this on my show. So one of the things I talked about yesterday on my show was they need to repackage Wheeler Yuta, take away the bright colors, get him away from best friends, get him serious, right? This should be what jumpstarts him. And him losing, bro, if you really want, it's Supercard of Honor. If you want best friends to maybe accidentally screw over Wheeler Yuta, that can jumpstart Wheeler Yuta actually joining Blackpool Combat Club, right? Like he could be, for some reason, maybe the best friends are there. They show up to support him. Trent doesn't care about him. Trent is not willing to support him, whatever it may be, right? And next thing you know, that officially causes the split. Josh Woods wins. He retains the belt. He moves forward as ROH Pure Title with the Pure Title. And then Wheeler Yuta goes to Dynamite. And now you have this story of, hey, best friends aren't there for him anymore.
Yeah.
He joins Regal. I mean, there's literally a lot of great things.
There's already like an automatically built-in trios match right there with Best Friends and Blackpool Combat Club.
Exactly, and that's a good way for them to go over as well, right? Blackpool Combat Club needs some notable names. You know, that's a good way to do it. Myra, thank you for your super chat. I appreciate it. Let's move on. The next match I want to talk about.
Did I get us over the record?
The record.
The goal?
Let's see. I'll tell you what the record is. No, the record. So the most that we ever got in a stream was 141.95. So right now we're at 117. So we hit the goal, but we haven't beat the record. Now
Get those super chats in, people.
If we beat the record tonight, dude. I mean, I'll tell you guys, I have some major surprises planned for the WrestleMania post shows. If we beat the record tonight, shit. Those surprises are going to be even bigger. Let's talk about Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Martinez for the interim ROH Women's World Title match. Mercedes Martinez here is to do the job. She's going to do the job to Willow. I hope Tony Khan signs Willow. I hope she's a big part of ROH. Give us the Deonna Purrazzo versus Willow Nightingale match at some point. And let's move forward with Willow being a big part of the AEW/ROH future. I don't think there's anything more to it. This will be a good match. Willow Nightingale has been very, very impressive. Mercedes Martinez is a great worker. There's no story to this. It doesn't need to be a story. It's the interim women's championship match. Have Willow win the match. Build a story between her and Deonna. And you could have Deonna Purrazzo lose. Simple stuff.
Yeah, I'm very like Willow Nightingale is winning this match. Like I have very little reservations about that. I do want to see Mercedes Martinez kind of have like a real like kind of like run, like a real like build up in a match and all that. But I mean, I think you go with Willow because I think that would kind of put more of a spotlight, I should say, on her going into her feud with Deonna, because whoever wins this match, you have to remember, is feuding with Deonna Purrazzo. Yeah. And I think Willow has the most to gain here, and I think that she's the one that you want to see also win because she's just really good. But man, like I'm a huge Mercedes Martinez fan, but I know she's not gonna win, but this is what it is. But gonna be a good match. It's gonna be also I'm interested to see this because ROH. I'm interested to see how Tony Khan is going to book the ROH women's division, because if it's anything like the way we've seen the AEW women's division booked, I really hope it's not that, because they have a chance here. Like, they finally have a chance. Like, you have time, you have roster, you can build people up, do it, and
So Zachary just put in the chat, he said, have Athena debut. Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon, was reportedly in light talks with Tony Khan for AEW, but those talks haven't really amounted to anything. Now, here's the thing, because Zachary, I do agree. Like, I would love to see Athena in AEW or ROH, but the biggest problem here that a lot of people are seemingly forgetting is that ROH is Tony Khan's words. It's supposed to be like a developmental. So, I mean, we just saw Ember Moon go from developmental in WWE to the main roster and not get used. So is she not good enough for Dynamite, but she's only good for ROH? It doesn't make sense to me. To me, I think there is a lot of potential. So the biggest issue, right? Which, by the way, yesterday, just so you're aware, yesterday I actually said on my stream, I said, if there's a show that I'm going to enjoy the most going forward, like for weekly television, it's probably going to be ROH. I tend to enjoy developmental type shows the most, which is why I love NXT. I love seeing future stars being primed for the spotlight. And with ROH, I'm definitely getting like NXT vibes. Maybe less character stuff, but it's going to be like NXT in my opinion, which to me is like a big thing. Like I think I announced yesterday I'll be doing daily coverage of ROH as well. So for me personally, you know, the way I see this going down is Athena debuting could be really, really awesome, but it says that she's not a main player, right? So what I would do is have Willow win this match clean. I would have Willow defeat Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna Purrazzo could go back to Impact. Now I would start building my women's division based on talent that are unsigned but known. So like if you look at the women's division, for example, Masha Slamovich, she's with Impact, for example. She's not the biggest name, but she's a big name in the indies. She goes to Impact. She's a good signing there. Like that's what ROH needs to do. They need to take like noticeable names in the indies, put them in this division, build them up, and then move them to Dynamite. And I think that's the best way to do it. I really do.
Coming in hot.
Yeah, did you just see what I just saw?
Oh yeah. You are loved, Ango. You are loved.
Wow. What the fuck? Hold on, I need a second really quick. So Nick Pencil dropped a message. He says, "Hey Ango, how can I support the channel besides the super chat? I dig the super chats, but I would like to show more support." Honestly, the best way to support the channel is subscribing, sharing, anything that monetarily gets sent through a super chat or a super sticker or a donation. Those are 100% going back into the channel. So, I mean, those are all the ways to support. If you can't support monetarily, it's okay. That's the way to do it. Now, the reason why I mentioned that is because Myra just dropped a freaking 50 bomb. Holy shit. Wow, what the hell? Super chat party for real, for real, for real. Myra says, "Here's to Yuta's grunge, repackaging, and character development storytelling. WrestleMania will be fun, and let's have a great remaining week of wrestling. Catch y'all on the Discord." Myra, I don't even know what to say. I really like don't know what to say. So thank you, first and foremost. And yes, it is going to be a wonderful week in wrestling, and I look forward to it. So thank you again. Wow. The goal today for the Super Chats, by the way, was $100. And we're at 172.93. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get to 200. We already beat the record. The most I ever got on the live stream was 141 something. I said it earlier. I don't even look at it. It was 141.95. If we hit $200, I will freak the fuck out. Oh, I could turn on my camera again, by the way. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's done overheating.
No, I know Ango won't say it, but I'm going to speak it into existence. We're getting to 200.
We're going to try. Oh,
Power
see?
Positivity.
Dude, like now I'm back on camera. My camera's probably done overheating. I'm literally like freaking out.
Go.
It's just crazy. It is crazy. You guys don't want to see
what they want.
Dude. Crazy. Let's move on. Thank you, Myra, for your super chat. Let's move on. Jay Lethal versus Lee Moriarty. It's going to be a good match. There's not a scenario I could think that like super like fantasy books this in a ridiculous way. Like I don't see any surprises here. I don't see anything really happening out of the ordinary. For some reason I see Jay Lethal winning because he doesn't win on. Yeah, I don't see Jay Lethal winning anything on Dynamite, right? So I see this being a situation where Jay Lethal wins the match. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Dude, stop. Yeah. Stop. Dude, no way.
Everything okay?
Yeah, bro. Robin just dropped a $28 super chat.
Super chat party.
Holy shit, dude. You guys are...
Did I get... See, I told you, speak it into existence.
Dude, that is... What the hell, dude?
Hey man, like the Undertaker in 2003, keep on rolling, baby.
Albert just dropped a $2 super chat. You guys are crazy, dude. You guys are crazy. And you guys will love it too, because I'm gonna get a new camera that doesn't overheat. Fucking, by the way, this camera cost like $2,000 when I bought it. So like, I've had it for a couple years, but it just overheats. It's a mirrorless camera. So like, it's just such bullshit, you know? And literally, like, the number one thing is, like, when I do these live streams, I want to do, like, multicam and stuff, which is... What the fuck? What the fuck is happening right now?
I told you. It's a super chat party, and we're all in it right now.
What the fuck just happened?
People are helping the channel grow. Oh, I think we got I think we might have a super chat war growing here. Oh man. Do you want to get to some of these like I love how this is just a rib.
You guys are fucking with me, dude. So Nick Pencil just dropped a $100 super chat, $99.99. Here you go. I hope this helps. Real takes for what the fuck, bro? You just dropped a $4.99.
Get in. I had to get in.
Myra just dropped a 50 bomb. What is wrong with you guys? Hey, nice to see the face. Your content keeps me entertained and distracted in a good way. Okay, I really have to go now. Good night, y'all. Hey, Robin.
Historic night for the Ango show, and therefore the world.
I have never in my life
it's good. It's. I think you have. Your fans love you, my friend. Your fans really love you.
Myra just dropped another 50 bomb, bro. What is this?
After saying they're done, dropped another one. Say they're done.
Dude, I'm trying to make these predictions. I can't. Hello to you too, Albert. Okay, I'm done. Bye. What the hell just happened? You guys just smashed the world record, like, by wow.
Roll with it, my friend.
Wow. Thank you, guys. Honestly, that is crazy. What the fuck? What the fuck? I don't even remember where I was at with my prediction.
But I think we just finished up Mercedes Martin. Oh no, we were at Jay Lethal versus Lee Moriarty.
Yeah, fuck that match. I don't care. No, that match is gonna be sick, dude. Lee Moriarty is gonna be badass. I hope Lee Moriarty wins.
He's not gonna win. Mr. Jay Lethal is Mr. ROH right now. I mean, the way he speaks about it, I think he's gonna be a huge part of the resurgence or the resurrection, whatever you want to call it, of ROH. He gets the win here. I want to see Lee Moriarty get a win. I just don't think it's gonna happen right now. I think eventually they're gonna do the Blackpool Combat Club like recruitment thing with him.
Yeah.
I think, and I like the way that they're kind of doing it individually. They're not like getting all the guys that Bryan Danielson said in his promo. Remember, like, it was Lee Moriarty, Daniel Garcia, and Wheeler Yuta. I like the idea of it being more of a long-term build, and then them having to pry Daniel Garcia away from the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Yeah. Sorry, we got another super chat. Albert Pons dropped a $2 super chat. The Ango Show is taking over the world. Yeah, we really are. We really are taking over the world. What did we say? What are we talking about? Yeah, you're right. You're right. We'll just pretend you're right.
We just finished up. Yeah. We just finished up Jay Lethal versus Moriarty.
On the bright side, we get Ninja Mac making his ROH debut.
Yeah.
Ninja Mac, by the way, he did a face reveal for Bloodsport today. That was freaking unbelievably weird, but it was cool. He was awesome. So yeah, we have Ninja Mac versus Tully Blanchard's new client. So Tony Khan announced that today. His new client, we don't know who it is, and yeah,
Claudio.
I think it's Claudio. I made a video on it. I think it's Cesaro. I don't think there's any other way. There's nobody else I want to see in that position. It's got to be Tully Blanchard and Claudio. Cesaro having Tully Blanchard, by the way, just immediately takes him to the top. But that's not an act I want to see on ROH. That's something I want to see on Dynamite. So hopefully that leads to Dynamite. Ninja Mac is losing. I don't think you surprise. I don't think you do a surprise debut or something and have that person lose, right?
No, I like Ninja Mac and all that, but he's there to put Tully Blanchard's person over. That's what this match has really been built around. That Tully Blanchard is introducing a new person, and a lot of times when you have that person debut, they're the ones who are going to get the win. So it has to be someone big. I think it should be Claudio, and it will be Claudio. In fact,
yeah, I think it's Claudio. If it's not, I riot.
It's Cody Rhodes. Everyone.
It's not Cody. Stop
Can
it.
you imagine? No, I'm not. No, you know I don't mean it, but could you imagine?
Stop it, bro.
The internet would explode.
They're not gonna waste Cody Rhodes on Ninja Mac, bro. No disrespect to him.
I know. I know. I'm just. I love riling up the hardcores.
No, dude, you're such a worker. We get Joe Henry versus TBA. We don't know who that is.
Oh, I didn't even hear about the match. Joe Henry's on this card?
Yeah, technically they could have changed it, but it's I would hope it's Samoa Joe. We don't know who it is, but they technically announced this before Tony Khan bought ROH. They haven't removed this card or this match from the card. So as of right now, Joe Henry is still on the list. We just don't know who it is. I would love for it to be Samoa Joe, just because. I mean, stylistically, it probably doesn't make sense, but Samoa Joe coming home, it would be a really, really good idea. So if I'm Tony Khan, I figure out a way to make it happen. Joe Henry versus Samoa Joe, it could be a quick match. I don't know what the hell is happening with Joe Henry going forward, which is the tough part, honestly. But
he's really good. He's really good.
Yeah, it's. Joe Henry got really big too, like bulking wise.
He bulked up, yeah.
So you never know, man. Joe Henry was pretty entertaining in Impact and what he did in ROH. I feel like he's just been dealt a bad hand, quite honestly. So what I would do here is have him. It sucks because if you have Samoa Joe coming in, you can't have him lose, right? But if it's not somebody big, maybe it's just like a random opponent, then you just have Joe Henry win and then you keep him for ROH.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't think there's really anything you could do. If you're not bringing a guy like Samoa Joe or CM Punk for a spot here, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to regain my train of thought, but I just,
No, it's cool. I mean, this match. I mean, again, I didn't even know about this match, so it's kind of a surprise to me now. I think that Samoa Joe Henry match, it's gonna be, it would be kick ass because they're just two really great wrestlers, right? But yeah, I really don't know what the hell to think about this. It's just I'm gonna be, if it's happening, I'm gonna tune in and it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fun to watch, as JBL would say.
By the way, this is the one card that's this card was put together in the worst way possible. Out of anything happening this weekend, there's nothing that really makes sense. Obviously, FTR and the Briscoes does, but everything else has just been kind of thrown together. John Gresham and Bandito are the only two matches that actually make sense on this card, and I still think this is going to be a phenomenal show, by the way.
No, you also have FTR versus the Briscoes. That totally makes sense.
Can't forget about that. And we'll talk about that in a minute. The next match I want to talk about is Shane Strickland versus Alex Zane. There's no way Tony Khan has Swerve lose, which is I like Alex Zayn a lot, and I just wish he was given an opportunity. He wasn't given an opportunity in WWE. He continues to be a standout in GCW. With him coming to ROH, working against Swerve, this is probably going to be a fantastic match. A lot of people will be freaking the fudge out when they watch this match, for sure. This is going to slap. This is going to be a really, really good match. I hope everybody pays attention to this match. But I do believe that Shane Strickland wins. I think Swerve wins, and, you know, what would be cool if I'm Tony Khan, what I would do is that I would actually have Tony, if I was Tony Khan, what I would do is have, let me rephrase this. Let's say you're Tony Khan and you're signing Alex Zayn to ROH. Like, you're bringing him in as a full-time wrestler, right? What I would do is actually have him go over Swerve, have Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs cost Swerve the match. This is a transitional show. You want to get people excited about ROH, but you still want to get over your AEW guys. Have them lose because Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs humiliate them.
Yeah. My fear with that, though, if they're like, you know, like let's say they're already doing the William Regal, you know, Wheeler Yuta thing. My concern is like you don't want to oversaturate it with AEW stuff, you know. Like you said, you kind of want to keep it, you know, as separate as it can be where it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of that happening. I would rather have like Swerve Strickland come out at the end of the show and just like stare down whoever wins the winner take all ROH world title match. I feel like that would be a cool way to go.
Yeah.
And maybe Swerve Strickland becomes like, you know, one of the main guys of Ring of Honor. You know, as a way to kind of like build him up as they try to figure out where to fix him on AEW TV, because right now he just doesn't fit in there right now. Like that's just the truth of it. I mean, fun match, gonna be fun. Tomorrow night, tonight I should say, because it's like 1. The Curtis Carwell Center is gonna be Swerve's house. He's gonna win this.
By the way, this arena I think it could hold about 6,000 to 7,000 people. It should be able to hold quite a few people. This one is the match.
AEW runs it all the time.
Really? They do?
This
AEW
is the one that this is the Garland, Texas. Yeah. You've never heard Excalibur say this Sunday or this Wednesday we will return to the Curtis Carwell Center in Garland, Texas. Yeah, like they always run this.
I just feel like AEW is always
Dallas
in like
area.
New York and New Jersey. I don't know. It's been 3 years. I'm finally getting them in Detroit. So.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, look, we got them in Baltimore. We got them in Baltimore early, and then they're finally coming back May 4th. But no, I mean, no, they run, but they've ran Garland, Texas, I think, like, actually 3 times since they returned in July. Like, I think they might have returned in Texas, like, when they returned from the pandemic, but...
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this match, to me, is the one that people got to pay attention to. It doesn't make sense on paper, right? Like, in terms of the build-up and whatnot. It was just randomly announced. Swerve did announce, too, prior to Tony Khan buying ROH, he had plans for being in ROH, so he wanted to, like, be there. They made this happen. This match is going to slap. Next, we get the Briscoe brothers versus FTR. Holy shit, this is an incredibly hard match to actually predict. I'm very firm with FTR winning this match, though. I don't think you have... FTR has won pretty much every single tag team championship belt that you could even think of. The Briscoes apparently can't be on Warner Media. That was the rumor. That was the report that came from Fightful a bit ago.
Yeah.
So I think you have FTR win. If you do end up bringing the Briscoes to AEW, you can obviously tell that story if you want. Otherwise, I would just expect to see the Briscoes show up in Impact and NWA and GCW. That's what I would think moving forward. This is not really, to me, this is not a very hard prediction to make. It could go either way, just like any of these matches, but I just think you want to put over FTR. And when you take into account that rumor or that report, really, about the Briscoes not being able to be on Warner Media. See, my belief is this. They're trying to do a weekly television show for ROH. It makes no sense for AT&T, Warner Media, any of them to be okay with Briscoes. It doesn't make sense for them to have the Briscoes not be on Warner Media, but then have Tony Khan have his television deal through somebody else. Does that make sense? So, Tony Khan's television deal for ROH should be the same television deal as his AEW stuff. So it's got to be within the Warner Media family. I think ROH shows up on True TV, and I just don't think the Briscoes are part of it. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they changed their mind. They've obviously been very apologetic. But with that being said, I just think this is a situation where they have to move on from it, unfortunately. So you have them drop the belts, FTR wins, and again, this is weird, man. This is so hard to predict because it's a transitional show. If ROH is developmental, FTR should not be developmental. So who the hell takes the belts from FTR? If I'm Tony Khan, what I do is literally after the show, vacate every single belt and call it a fucking day.
Are you there? You can reboot Nitro. All right, Vince Russo.
That's what I'll do, though. I'm just saying.
Oh, you remember like there were rumors a few years ago they were gonna do like a reboot Raw?
Yeah.
Like where Vince is gonna. Like, I was like, oof, don't do that. Like, do not do that.
It's not. It's a bad idea, but it's not a bad idea.
Actually, it wouldn't be the worst. Although, don't take the belt off of Roman now. Just no.
For sure.
But
a couple years ago, it would have
anyway.
made sense. But right now, it doesn't because there's just a lot of people in the title picture and stuff. So it's like, back then, I feel like, okay, sure. But right now, the product is kind of hot. Yeah.
2019 was the year to do it.
Yeah.
Quickly on this match, I mean, I was at the Chesapeake Employers Insurance Arena, aka the UMBC Event Center in Baltimore, when they did the ROH Final Battle show, and it was crazy when FTR and the Briscoes kind of like went face to face. It was an epic moment. Gonna be a great match, fantastic tag team match. These are two of the best tag teams in the world. And I think you're right. I think FTR does win this match. I do think, though, they're going to... Because, again, it's a transitional show, and a lot of things with ROH are up in the air. I do think at some point, to kind of further the Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, and the FTR feud, the Young Bucks are going to cost FTR the titles in some way, and that's going to kind of further the feud. Especially as FTR are kind of becoming the baby faces. I think it would actually make sense. But in this match in a vacuum, it is FTR. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the Briscoes and Warner Media. I mean, the wrestling has had like questionable characters and people who've done terrible things on before, and again, that's not to say that what they did wasn't terrible. It was absolutely horrendous. But I mean, you know, they like you said, they're been apologetic about it, and people can change, and people can change for the better. And I think it's important to allow people to do that to an extent. But at the end of the day, it's out of my hands. Definitely, it's out of the Briscoes, and it's all in the hands of Warner Media. If they want to allow the Briscoes on, they can. And if they don't, that's fine. And I don't think it's going to hurt ROH or AEW that much, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and like I said, the Briscoes can show up in the other companies, and that would be fine. It's not like they haven't done stuff. They have the multiverse of matches, which is taking place tomorrow night. They'll be in a match for Impact. They've been doing stuff with NWA recently. You know, it's up to the executives at Warner, really. You know, like I said, I can't imagine ROH being on a different television network that competes with Warner. It just wouldn't make sense. I can't see how that would work. And technically they could do a weekly television show for the streaming app, you know, but there's just a lot of questions. That's why the show it's going to be a great show. It's going to deliver, but like literally nothing really makes sense until we know what the product will look like, who's going to be, you know, on it, who's going to be signed to it. Right now, there's nobody signed to ROH. So that is something that people got to keep in mind. I want to move on to the main...
deliver.
It will deliver.
Is it going to stand? But is it going to stand?
In the test of time, I don't know, but it will deliver.
Get what I did there? Stand and deliver,
which, by the way, I'm the most excited for. But, yeah, nonetheless, Jonathan Gresham versus Bandito, the main event, champion versus champion. As I said earlier, Tony Khan has announced the breaking news that Chavo Guerrero will be managing Bandito. Tony Khan finally answered his damn phone. He finally answered his damn phone. He got Chavo on the line. He said, yo, we don't want you on Dynamite, but you can go work for Bandito. I actually love this. I love that he added Chavo to the mix. I know a lot of people are going to hate this. I think a lot of people are going to hate this. I'm going to pay attention to the comments and everything. But I think, and I could be wrong, and it's bold, but I think Gresham loses. And I think Bandito wins. And I think Gresham signs to AEW. I know there's been talks about it before. I don't think Gresham should be in ROH. I don't think he should be doing that. I think he's deserving of a good spot on AEW television. You can't go wrong with either guy, by the way. But I think Chavo Guerrero going with Bandito, to me, it sounds like they might be doing heel, like babyface versus heel. I don't know. It's really, really tough to say. It could very well be Gresham being the babyface and then obviously Bandito being the heel. Maybe babyface versus babyface. I don't know. This is going to be the weirdest thing. Again, it's so hard to predict. You can't go wrong with either or. I think Bandito wins. I think they unify the championship. And I think Tony Khan reveals a new logo, new championship belt to end the match. So by the end of this pay-per-view, you'll see a new championship belt revealed. You'll see the new logo revealed. And that will basically come forth with an announcement that says, hey, this is what the new ROH will be like. Tony Khan obviously has a major announcement for everything. I expect one final announcement after the show. Whether it's Gresham or Bandito, we're going to hear about something massive. Maybe it's the TV deal. Maybe it's the new logo, the new championship belt. But I don't want to see this guy holding two belts. I want to see Tony Khan walk to the ring and hand him, whoever wins, I want to see him hand him the new championship belt and say, here you go. You are going to carry the flag for this company. If you're not going to vacate every belt and stuff like that, you know what I mean? If you're not doing a big reset. And I think Gresham being part of AEW would make more sense for Gresham than being in ROH. Bandito, obviously working multiple companies as well, can work ROH as the champion. And then, you know, that's when you have him work the other companies as well. He could bring the ROH title with him, that type of thing, until TV starts. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking Bandito wins this match because he is just an otherworldly talent in my eyes. I think in the realm of like, I guess like ROH and you know, like I guess that realm of wrestling, he, like, to me, I think of him in a similar way as far as like this dude's just like insane and fun to watch in the ring as like, you know, a kind of like a Montez Ford, I'm not saying that he's as good as Montez Ford, but I just think like he's so fun and cool, and then I think like his look is just I'm a huge fan. In case you guys can't tell, mark it out. But yeah, I also think this is the right man to go with, because I do, like you, think that at the end of the day, Jonathan Gresham's going to sign. Are gonna like end up in AEW one way or another. Like that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think the Bandito is a perfect guy to be kind of the guy of ROH. You know, like, and Chavo Guerrero as a mouthpiece. I'm lukewarm on. I'm not gonna lie. And look, if I had known that complaining about Tony Khan on Twitter could get you a job as a manager, I would have done that a long time ago. But
all he had to do was watch my live streams.
Hey man, I'm sure he's come across it at some point, but no, in all seriousness, I mean, it's interesting. I hope that Chavo like doesn't do the because I love Chavo, but like one thing we do know, he's goofy, right? He like what everything, like even when he tries to come across as like sincere, like, almost everything that he does just comes across as goofy. Like, you know, like even the stuff he did with Andrade. Like, I just thought it was like, I'm listening to Chavo. He just sounds kind of goofy, you know.
I like Chavo, by the way.
You do too. Like that's not me saying that I hate Chavo Guerrero. That's not me burying Chavo Guerrero. I just think he comes across as goofy sometimes when he's cutting promos. It's hard to take him seriously. And you know, I mean, that just might be me. But I do think that that is. I don't know. It's a weird combination. I hope it works out. Especially for Bandito, because I think he should win this match, but voice giving out, buddy.
It is. I've drank like 3 water bottles already. What I will say is perception is reality. So when Chavo was basically thrown to the side on AEW and now he's randomly coming back, it's not good. I feel like they dropped the ball with Chavo, unfortunately. We did get 2 super chats, one from Albert Ponce for $2. He says Gresham versus Miro would be a banger on Dynamite. I wish I wasn't losing my voice right now because I absolutely agree. 1,000,000%. When Miro returns, that is definitely a match to make. Zachary left a super chat for $1.99 saying TK was Booker of the Year. ROH is in good hands. Zachary, normally I would agree with you. Tony Khan is very smart. I feel like he might be biting off more than he can chew. I hope I'm wrong. I hope some people help him out, because right now what I'm looking at is a very, very potentially stacked card with no meaning whatsoever, because we don't know what the future looks like. So if Tony Khan doesn't reveal to us what the future looks like after tomorrow night, none of this means anything. I'm not mad. I like good wrestling. This show will have good wrestling. But I want to see something come out of this.
So you were about to say, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
No, I mean, he was dealt a shitty hand, but also at the same time, too, this billionaire decided to buy a wrestling pay-per-view like a month before the pay-per-view, you know? It's just like, and obviously I respect the fact that he wants to keep the show going for the fans and everything. What I would do, and I genuinely believe this, if I'm Tony Khan, I would put on this show, reveal a new company, the new brand, new everything. Double or Nothing takes place in May. That's a month from now, right? I would have ROH have a weekend event. So if Double or Nothing is on Sunday, I would have ROH on the night before. I would do events through the Big Four. So 4 ROH pay-per-views on the line the same week as the AEW pay-per-views. That way I'd keep them closely to each other, right?
Yeah. Like, you know how you had NXT TakeOver? You can have ROH Takedowns.
Takedowns, sure. Whatever the fudge you want to call it. You can do something like that, though. But I want to start seeing like the future being revealed ASAP. Because personally speaking, I think there's like this card is fire. But there's no meaning behind it. So maybe you don't have weekly television, but you have Double or Nothing taking place next month. Well, you have social media. You can start building feuds and stories. You know what I mean? Through social media. Yeah. And then until you're ready to reveal the new TV deal, you can use the pay-per-view super event, or whatever you want to call it, a super indie event or super pay-per-view or IPPV, premium live event, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You can use those Big Four for AEW to push ROH until weekly television is alive, right? Like, remember when AEW did Fyter Fest and Fight for the Fallen in the beginning? Like, they didn't have a TV deal like starting yet. They just did like these Bleacher Report events. I would do something very,
those are
very
some
similar.
kick-ass shows too.
Very kick-ass shows, and that set the precedence that AEW was very serious. I would take that same approach and put that with ROH if TV hasn't or isn't being announced. That's what I would do. But yeah, Bandito versus Gresham. Actually, the funny thing is, literally, there's literally no wrong decision you can make with this card, other than having Mercedes Martinez beat Willow Nightingale. That would be the only decision I could see being wrong. But literally everything else could be fine. Everything else could be fine. It doesn't matter how you book it. I think it's all fine.
Ninja Mac defeating Claudio would not be fine. But
well, we don't know if it's Claudio. We don't know. That's why I said we don't know. If it's Claudio and you have Ninja Mac win, I mean, that would be a shame on TK. But that's why, and thank you guys for your super chats. But like, TK being Booker of the Year, yes, he was Booker of the Year, but also he didn't have 2 wrestling companies to run. It's very difficult.
Has to delegate though,
and he struggles.
I think
he struggles. He's got 4 shows: Dark, Elevation, Rampage, and Dynamite, and he struggles to run all 4. So now imagine ROH. I'm not saying Tony Khan is going to struggle here. I'm just saying he's going to need some help, and he's got an amazing staff of coaches. He's got William Regal. He's got people by his side. We know Ian Riccaboni and Coleman will be doing commentary for ROH for the show. Let's start to reveal what that future looks like, who's behind the scenes, start giving us an idea of what to expect. And, bro, AEW's audience will totally support this. There's nobody who will have an issue with it. Just start to reveal something, and it's perfect. Literally, this card can be the worst card on paper, but we know it's going to deliver in terms of wrestling. That's perfect. Now show us what the future looks like. Just give us a glimpse, and everybody will be very, very happy with it.
Tweet.
What was that?
Retweet.
Retweet.
Like,
yeah.
You just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to
Excited,
add,
man.
brother?
No. I mean, like, look, it's my parting message is as you know, probably got to get to sleep at some point soon.
Right.
But my parting message is to everyone out there, whether you like WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, New Japan, Shimmer, wow, I don't care what you like, honestly. Enjoy the wrestling, man. Like life's too short to complain about every minutia detail and every
For
little
sure.
thing. Like, it's fun to talk about. Just don't be toxic about it. Just enjoy it. And if you feel like you are the type of person who kind of does overanalyze those things and maybe is attracted to that, like, a little bit, and that toxicity, I'd advise you not to watch it. But
Yeah.
hey, anyone out there who is not a fan of WWE and who doesn't have plans at least to watch WrestleMania, what you should do is check out my WrestleMania live stream watch-alongs on youtube.com/Real Take Wrestling. I'm
you
gonna be
go.
sitting there watching that thing, and you guys can be along the ride with me. However the hell you say that. It's too late for me to make sentences, but youtube.com/Real Take Wrestling. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff WrestleMania weekend. Yeah. Come hang.
Perfect. Well said. Guys, lately these shows have been going a lot longer than I anticipated, right? The camera overheats, all this stuff. I just want to say thank you because it's actually become very fun. It's one thing to do news videos and talk about news and provide analysis. It's another to take call-ins, having guests on the show, and just reading the chat and engaging with you guys. And kind of like Omer said, like, even if WrestleMania is not your cup of tea, just enjoy whatever it is you want to enjoy. Literally, like, to me, I literally say I enjoy everything because I think every company has something good. With that being said, I think there's a lot of things these companies could work on to improve. But right now for WrestleMania weekend, like I said earlier on the stream, 2 years of COVID and lockdowns and not being able to travel, not being able to go to wrestling shows, not being able to do a lot of stuff. WrestleMania never felt normal, and indie wrestling felt like it was dying. And this year, I was watching Bloodsport, and I saw how many people were there at Bloodsport, and Joey Janela's Spring Break, and all of these different things that are happening. Wrestling is coming back, and if you don't enjoy WrestleMania, it's okay. A lot of companies are benefiting from WrestleMania weekend. Go support them. Go watch them. Go enjoy it. And one thing I was going to tell you, too, before I started the Angle Show, a couple months ago, I did a 3-hour watch-along for Raw. And my viewers looked at me and they said, "Damn, dude, you look miserable." And I was like, yeah, I am miserable. I am literally, I'm literally to the point where no joke, this is some real shit. I was on the stream and I was like, bro, I'm about to fall asleep and I feel bad. Now, thankfully, wrestling right now these days are nothing like it's nothing. It's not as bad as that, So now Raw is a lot more tolerable. But, I pick and choose what I want to watch. And for a while, WWE wasn't it. Now I'm all of a sudden enjoying WWE. Now, granted, after WrestleMania season, I might not watch it as much. I might not enjoy it as much. But the reason why I mention all of this is because people were telling me that my 3-hour miserable watch-along was more entertaining to watch than WWE itself. So
There you go.
if that's the case, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But enjoy what you want to enjoy. Right? Enjoy what you want to enjoy, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let YouTubers or media people or Twitter users, for me personally, I like a little bit of everything. I hate a little bit of everything, and it was enjoyable tonight. I will say I quit my job in September to do YouTube full time. And one of the things was I always wanted to do the Ango Show and bring people onto the show and talk wrestling with people. And I've gotten to a point where literally now I think like this is the best job you could ever imagine. So I just want to say sincerely thank you to absolutely everybody who not only contributes to the show, but also like joins the Discord, like shares the links, shares the videos, like everything you can imagine. I just want people to know like I genuinely appreciate it. Like it's badass, and like I said, it's just what the fuck? I can't even keep my
thought Myra's left like 3 times and came
Which
back.
is-
It is.
This is
Oh,
crazy,
man.
dude. So Myra, I don't know what this is in response to. Myra just said, "You said it, Nick." I don't know what Nick said, but there's a super chat for $50 from Myra. Again, Albert Paz just dropped $2 super chat. We are in the new renaissance of wrestling. You guys are absolutely insane.
Yeah, in reference to what Myra said, Nick Pencil right before that said, "Let's try to get a new camera. I'll match anyone who has a $50 super chat."
What the fuck?
Hey man, hey man, that's what we love to see.
Look, man, this.
I do gotta run though, Ango.
All right,
I'm
brother.
sorry.
I know it's 1 in the morning,
I
brother.
do gotta run.
Thank you, man, so much. I appreciate you being on here.
Absolutely, man. Everyone, enjoy wrestling, enjoy life, take it easy.
Make sure you guys
and
subscribe to him too, please. I would appreciate that.
YouTube.com/Real Take Wrestling. YouTube.com/Real Take Sports for all your sports needs as well. Take it easy, everyone.
See you, brother. Thank you. Have a good night. Dude. Guys, it is 1:30 in the morning. Nick just dropped a $49.99 super chat. I don't think it's possible anything will ever top this. Seriously. I don't know what else to say if I like. Wow. I feel like saying thank you is not enough. So, thank you. Seriously, that is the most insane thing I have ever seen in my life. And I don't know what else to say. I feel like there's no words I can say other than thank you. You guys are literally the most incredible people ever. Wow. Thank you guys. Yeah. I we're gonna call it a night. It is 1:32 in the morning. You guys absolutely went off, and wow. I hope you guys enjoy Supercard of Honor. I'll be back tomorrow night after Supercard of Honor. We'll review the show. We'll talk about it, and thank you again, everybody. I appreciate it sincerely. Thank you.